Okay, what's up everybody? We are back with some more Etheria Restart. Hope you guys have had a absolutely amazing week, man. It's been what, a couple days since, or a few days actually, since the last stream. But yeah, we got some grinding to do. We're just gonna be going through some of the generalized content. Nothing really too crazy. I think we're gonna be streaming some WoWa today on Twitch a little later. So we're gonna be streaming this for a couple of hours, and then we're gonna be streaming some Weather and Waves a little bit later. And then I might actually play Marvel Rivals today. I don't know if any of you guys play that, but we will be playing that. So if that's something you guys are interested in and you want to co-op for that, you're more than welcome to do that as well. But either way, if you are here for the first time, definitely make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, man. I would appreciate that. And like the stream. I would also really appreciate that. But yeah, man, let's see what's going on in the chat. Yo, what's good, JR? How you doing, bro? What's good, bro? How you doing, fam? You said last days. I know it does suck. Yeah, I think the beta tomorrow actually goes down, if I'm not mistaken, because technically, like whatever dates they've given, it will say like the 20th, for example, but they're referring to China time, right? So if you're in the US, for example, then that would be the 19th, and it'd be the exact time that the beta started, which is like 9 p.m. something like that. Yo, what's good, Rasta? How you doing, bro? Oh yeah, and I'm also streaming. I'm dual streaming on both Twitch and YouTube, so pick your poison, you know, whichever one you prefer. I know everybody has a different preference for their streams, but we are dual streaming, so you can just pick whichever one. Let me see something real quick. I wanted to... All right, that's just gonna show. I think it's just my Twitch chat. Let me see. I reset my social. All right, let's see. Maybe it might work. Maybe it might start working during the stream. We'll see. All right. You said, are you gonna play Seven Knights Rebirth also when it releases? Maybe. It all depends. Dude, Netmarble's just been like, I don't know. Netmarble's just been killing me with games. So I mean, I hope that they release the game and it does okay. Like, I'll still try it and play it because I love Seven Knights, but I just don't know how it's gonna go because it's Netmarble. So, like, it's Netmarble. So I have no idea how that's gonna go. You said, Zox, yo, Brennan, appreciate the sub, bro. Yo, Brennan be coming out of nowhere. What's good, bro? How you been, man? How's the family? Like, I haven't seen you, you know, within the last week or so, you know? What's good, bro? You said today I suggested Etheria devs to add a system similar to E7 where you would do more damage as a match. RTA takes longer. Yeah, he said because duo revive comps take too long. Yeah, they do. They're a pain. I mean that 1000% has been pushed to the devs for sure, because I think they were even able to see like the double revive. Like if you were able to put Sania, which a lot of people were doing, if you were able to run Sania with Ling Lao, bruh, you was in that fight forever. Like, yeah, like, and it wasn't even just like even the dual revivers. It was like the shield. Like, I don't think any, like, so people are just now starting to creep over like level 55. Like, so I'm playing 2 accounts right now. One of my so I'm playing the beta account right now. The other account I'm playing on is like level 88, and I don't think a lot of people realize like that's the progressive like end game, right? Like that's what it's gonna look like when you get to end game. Like people are doing a whole bunch of cleave right now, primarily like CC cleave. That's gonna get completely just washed out of the way once the meta fully, like once people are able to actually fully farm gear. You're not going to really be seeing cleave as much with the current state. Like cleave is working now, but that's just because people can't fully build the tank comps properly. So like there's like a huge like part of the tank setup that you need. Like you would need Lighthouse, you would need the blood, what is it called? The blood something set. Because that set's actually pretty huge for resisting stuff. I think what was it called? Blood something. I can't remember. But yeah, there's a lot, and then it's different variations of that. You might have the unit paired it up with like cure, or you might have them pair up with the HP set, or they might have the defense set, or they might be on Bramble with it. Like yeah, Bloodbath. That's what it is. Yeah, Bloodbath. Yeah, Bloodbath is such a huge set for that. For that, man. I'm not even gonna kid. I kid you not. It's such a huge set. And then once people start getting Lighthouse, if you think the dual revive is bad now, wait till people really start like having the full stacked like lighthouses. Like lighthouse is gonna make it so annoying, because basically what it does is it just straight up mitigates cleave. If you do any damage over 25%, that 25% gets returned back to the character. So like you basically didn't do like, say, okay, like I think I've said this before, but like say like you did 50% damage, right? Half health. They're gonna get 50% of that. They're gonna get 25% of that back. So it's just really toxic, you know. But it's there, right? So I feel like they're gonna have to balance it out, obviously, to make cleave feel a little bit better at that point, or like you said, like to have those parameters where realistically you can kind of still keep cleave as is, maybe do some tweaking to it, but like the longer the fight goes, technically cleave would be better, because cleave will start to actually have that damage ramp if they start increasing damage and stuff like that. Yo, what's good, Rillery? How you doing, fam? You said we don't need balance though. Get out of here, Lonzo. This is why whenever they send out feedback, they send out the feedback links, they need to not send you one, because because you're the guy that'll go to the option or the extra notes box and put, I don't think the game needs any balance. Like yo, you said I'm running it on Tiamat. Yeah, Bloodbath on Tiamat's nasty. I mean, that's the thing too, is like progressively too, like the deeper you get into the game, it's just much easier to build stuff, bro. Like right now you're trying to just kind of make stuff work, but once you start getting those full 3-set bonuses on your shells, you start getting like the actually getting the right set bonuses that you want to roll on the shell too. And then of course you got the 3 matrix symbol modules. You're able to fulfill your set bonuses like pretty easily, to be honest. Like it's actually kind of nice, because I will say that like it makes sense that it's harder to build stuff in the beginning versus like later on. It just becomes much easier. The only thing that you end up really having to worry about is like fine tuning. Like if you want to like say max roll a sub on like a piece of gear, or you're trying to get the right sub rolls on your pet. That's like, those are like the biggest things, I would say. So yeah, those are definitely like the biggest things. So it's just kind of interesting though to see like what people are doing. I've actually ran no PvP this entire beta for at least for this for the server you guys are on. I've been intentionally doing that though, because I just want to see what people are gonna come up with. So I've done no RTA. I've done, well, and it's like do I really need to? Not really. Like, I mean, I could, but come here. Got him. He said it would be nice if we were able to fight our defense in arena unless I missed something. What, you mean test out your defense? Yeah, you let other players test your defense, 8-bit. that's how you test it. you come back after 6 hours, and if you got 20 L's, then that means you might want to tweak something. Nah, I'm trolling. I don't think there is a way for you to actually test your defense. Not for Classic Arena, I don't think. Alright, there we go. Damn, I forgot where I need to go. I think it's here. Hit him. All right, there we go. Alright, let's see. So I gotta do this. I'm just trying to burn stamina at this point. He said, do we have a global release date? No. Nothing official, no. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I think that might be the most asked question. Like, I've gotten that question like every day. Like, and like multiple times a day too. I think that might be the most asked question in the community, period. Like, but that's a good thing though. I think at this point though, like don't go in game and ask that question because people are gonna troll you. Like, like at this point, like don't go in game and ask that. They are dead trolling in there right now. Like, I was seeing some stuff earlier and I was like, yo, they're just in here trolling people. You said I don't want to invest time into the game if my progression will reset. Well, yeah, this is a reset beta either way. Even if they were to say to release the game tomorrow, this beta would still reset. Yo, what's good, Nick? You said gotcha players just get bored quickly and want the next shiny thing. So I do admit the game has huge potential, and I will miss the game when the CBT ends. Yo, you know what's so funny? It's like, this is my fourth CBT. That's crazy. This actually, I think this might be the game that has taken the crown as far as playing the most CBTs. I think so. Yeah, I think this might be my most amount of CBTs consecutively I played for any game. Like, and it's kind of cool because it's just like the game has progressively gotten better. Like they really have done really well with like taking the feedback from players, implementing them like right away. And I'm not gonna lie, like even as far as communication, I'm not really even worried about that just because like even for me, like I said, I've been like basically doing work with them for like the last 2 years and they've been like really on top of just like letting me know like, hey, the next 6 months we're going to be doing this and then you should expect come December we'll have this going on or something. Like they just have like been in like they've just been really good with communicating. And specifically I think this game is going to do well because I don't think a lot of people realize it. There's somebody named if you look in the Discord, he might be in there whenever he's active, but his name is Jack Triple Z, right? That's actually the producer of the game. so the producer just be chilling. Like I like the last like probably like year and a half, I've been like I was dealing with him and I didn't realize he was the producer of the game. And he's just in the community. Like he actually will like talk to people sometimes. Like, and you never really see that. Usually the producer's like just in the back letting the CM just handle stuff, but he's actually in the community, which is pretty cool. This is the target each time she does damage. Let's see how that one goes. I saw Afro playing, or maybe Imposter. No, it was Afro Samurai. Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of OG homies on the game. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, this is 3 health bars. Oh God. All right. Maybe I didn't want to do that buff. I didn't realize that. We'll see. Yeah, I may have cooked myself here. We'll see. Three bars of this garbage though is crazy. I think that this is why Dispel pets might be my favorite pet in the game because other. I'm about to manual this. Yo, Oval, you got your S2, brother? Oh my god, of course he gets stunned. He said this boss being cancer, bro. Phase 2 is stupid. Bro, I've beaten this before. I just wasn't thinking. I was just like, I just like started it. Yeah, I don't think I picked the best debuff against myself for this one either. I'm just trying to see what they do. I honestly should manual this because I need to strip that immunity off. But I do got the setup to do it, so. He said, is the game live or still in beta? It's still in beta. Yeah, this is a ripperoni. Let me just make sure. Yeah, this happened last time, Nyx. Like you just don't have enough time like to hit level 50 and then to be able to fully test everything. And then the other thing is too is that you can sit and like, and that's kind of the issue I ran into, right? Was like I did all that I did extensive testing. Like I even like when I do each beta is I actually like record everything so I can log it so that I can do a compare contrast as far as like what changes happen. And just comparing CBT 3 to CBT 4, there was already a ton of changes that happened. They even went and like changed some characters' elements, which like changing a character's element is actually like kind of, especially in this game, it's really important. In most games, it typically is important, but it's really important in this game. Like if a character's element changes, it can completely change like their counter. It can completely change like what content you might use them in. Like that, like one thing could completely change a character, even if they have the same kit, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, there was like those things changed. There was a lot of units that like a lot of people may not have even realized it, but a lot of shells that were considered epic shells in CBT 3 became legendary shells in this beta, which is why we have such a huge increase. Like some people were talking about that. They were like, oh, why are there so many legendaries that are triple S? And I'm like, well, because they made them legendary. Like they were all epics last beta, and I think we might have had like 5 legendaries last beta, and now we got like it's like damn near over 10, if not around that number. So I'm trying to think what else changed. A couple of the sets slightly are different, but yeah. And then so like with this beta, I'm gonna expect there's gonna be some more changes that happen. Like that's the thing. So I'm just like, I'm not mad at it, but it does kind of make it like, damn, like you're just kind of always doing something new or fresh, which is, I mean, I'm fine with that too. Okay, conservative blood flower and flower strike prep. I might change this team up. Oh, actually, no, that actually is the better one. Hold on, I lied. Let's see. We're gonna bring the boy Gray into immunity strip into. Okay, so Oval is kind of getting cooked here because of attribute. We can't stun no way, so let's do this. Oh wait, but I need him for the dispel. Ooh, that's a little. It's like, where's this is why I need to build Sutomo. He's the only other unit I would want to build for dispelling. Yeah, I need to build him. Let's see. We can keep this, I guess. We'll see how this goes. We'll try it again. I have to manual though. Pain. Honestly, I think my dots are suffering here. Oh wait, so if that's the case, then Sunil can go. We just go Gray. Just do more damage. I'm going full geek. This beta, making a document with all info to see what change to have as info document. Yeah, I mean, definitely make sure. Yeah, definitely do that. That's what I've been telling everyone is like, if you can, like the best thing to do is just collect the data, and then like once you, it's a lot of work, yeah, but once you have it, then you can just compare contrast. It's much easier to do it that way versus just trying to like remember everything. That's why I record everything too. But I don't think I'm gonna necessarily have to do that because I think I'm gonna be helping localize the game as well. So I'm not gonna have to go too crazy like I did CBT 3. Yo, where's the shield proc, my guy? Oh, it's not his turn yet. I was like, where's it at? There we go. So did you just select only one of those cards at the start? Always makes me select two of them. Yeah, I only select one. Why you selected? What stage are you on though? Then, because I don't think you have to do it on these stages. That has to be later ones, I'm assuming. All right, let's see if RNG cooks me and lets me. Oh, that's random. It didn't give her immunity this time. Wait, hold on. Let's see. So, come on. So wait, what is the? I need to see what the pets do. Oh, not the pets. The ads. There's dot, stun. So how the hell did she get? Okay. Oh, you're at 24. Oh yeah, well yeah, at 24 they're gonna cook you. Yeah. Yeah. Expect it. Believe it, you know? Yeah, believe it. Believe it. Yeah, you're gonna get cooked. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm kind of getting cooked right now too, to be honest. It's just like this debuff is so fun, you know. It's like literally like just stun you randomly every few turns, and it just picks a random character too, which is lovely. Yo, she's not letting me get my oval turn. I gotta. She just pushed him back to like basically to where you couldn't get a turn. That's funny. All right, I already know what I have to do here. I'm gonna have to bring out what's his face. I have to go grab the boy real quick because they're playing right now. That's funny. She said, "Yeah, you don't get a turn." That's cool too, though. That's cool too. I mean, that's the thing though. I do appreciate is like the content isn't just like all ooga booga. Like you actually have to go and like readjust stuff, which is not a bad thing. That's actually like good to have those types of like stopping points like that. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Give me that 6-star. Because you won. Oh, all right. Never mind. You gave me. You okay? I'll take the gems. I'll take the gems. Let me get that upgrade again, though. I just made my. What was it my 4th 6-star? I think on this account. 4th or 5th. I don't remember. All right. You know what I want. Oh damn. With a 2 times is crazy. I need that to happen on release, yo. What the hell? Yo, that would happen on an account I gotta wipe. Yo, that's so stupid. Damn, that's lucky. Reward upgrade into a 2x into double is crazy. It would happen like that though. Dang. All right, so let's see. Now this thing can actually be OP if it lands where you want it to. Oh brother, it's gonna give me the. Okay, we'll take the 8, the multi for free. Okay, I think we got one more for that. That's not bad. Dang. Yeah, they actually made that pretty good. That's better than what it was before. All right, let's see. Yo, I've pulled Veronica. I actually legitimately pulled. I was swinging at the air yesterday. I pulled Veronica on a standard banner 4 times in a row. Like, I can't even make that up. Yo, what's good, Taka? How you doing, fam? Yeah, I literally pulled Veronica 4 times in a row. Like, 4 times in a row is crazy. I low-key wanted to cry though, because I was just like, damn, I can't. I like literally just was like, yeah, I can't really test anything else on this account from at least this standpoint. You said I got Hellkit 3 times, so I know I know your pain, bruh. It was just so messed up. I was just like, dang. I'm pretty sure it just counts your. Yeah, I was about to say it does count your guaranteed, which is pretty nice. Like, bro, can we get more games that count how many pulls you have left? Like, Jesus Christ, they act like that's impossible. Yeah, that like, hold on, where's she at? Yeah, bro. Base copy, and I pulled 3 more copies of her. I was just like, why? I was like, why? Why me? Why? So I was like, hey, it is what it is, though. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, like, it's like I still got like stuff to clear. Like, I have all the major stuff I would need to clear most stuff, but it was just still. I was like, damn. I was like, all right, well, that's that. You said chose Hail Kid from guaranteed 40, then pull him for the first SSR from normal. That's always fun. So I went at Hoyan this beta, man. Yeah, Hoyan. See, I think the thing that would, like, I don't know if you really would have gotten the full effect of Hoyan though with the amount of time they gave us, because it's just not enough time, man. Like, if we had more time, it would be better. He says someone beat Terramatan, Cataclysm 3-star last beta. Not even the hardest sweaters were able to get past 2-star until the end. Wait, are you saying like? What are you saying now? Like, are people having a tough time doing it? Yeah, people having a tough time doing it now. I'm not gonna lie. I would suspect they did raise the difficulty on stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I would think they would have. I was expecting that. Because, to be honest, like, that's kind of why they run the betas, is to be able to see how fast people are clearing stuff, so that if it's too easy, then they raise the parameters on it. Because I don't know if you noticed, this is the whatchamacallit, this is a big stopping point right here. Nico Nana obviously wasn't here last beta, and this is like now your level 50 like stopping point, right? Like, you have to get here first before you can even go and do Sharon or even do Asarte. Oh, you said no. Oh, somebody did beat it. Okay. Okay, somebody did beat it. That's actually good then. I mean, to be honest, like I don't think that gear's the major focal point, really. Like it is, but it isn't. Like, I think it's a part of the process, but it's not the main grind. Like, it's one of the grinds, but not the main grind. I wholeheartedly think pets are the main grind. Like just 1000%. Like, if you don't have good pets, I don't know what to tell you. Cause like, that's making up so much of your build. Like, you can literally you can make do, I would argue, up until you get certain things with like okay modules. But like, your pet, that base value that you get from your pets, and it's so freaking like, it's so freaking hard to invest into them, because it's not even that it's even hard. They're just high investments. Like, they're just so insane to build pets. Like, you can go through, like, even this beta, you got a ton of resources to level gear, but we didn't really get a ton to level pets. Like, you just had to kind of grind that, and then, you know, whatever resource rewards you got for it. So that for me is always a clear indication. They're kind of almost telling you what the higher value thing is, because for the nature of modules and like star rarity upping your characters, that uses the same resources, which which is the Etheria coin. But then when you look at like pets, that's its own like that's its own 2 resources it uses. Like, it doesn't use any of the stuff that you would use for modules or for what's it's called yeah, for modules basically. He said people are struggling beating it all at all. Bro is casually doing it 3 stars. So wait, but wait, who's doing it though? I don't like. It might. I don't know. I didn't see it. That's the question. Who's doing it? Let's see. Somebody's doing it 3 stars. You said 52 seconds. Yeah, 52 seconds. He's using. That looks about right. But then, let me see. Okay, I see where he put skill ups at. Yeah, so, okay, yeah, he's playing smart. Okay, so this is what I was telling people before, too. So, like, if you notice, like, everybody's is so fixated on, like, just, like, the PvP and just trying to build up their SSR units for PvP. But if you look at this roster, right, this is basically the only unit that's built on this team that's outside of the initial, like, I would say really the investment is literally is his Heinrich. But what he did was he took his resources and invested into the 2 most important skills on Heinrich, got a pretty solid build. He actually got really lucky with that role too for both the onslaught and the battle wheel. And then he actually has a pretty solid build. He's running him with Gray, so he has him at basically 100% crit, which is like GG there. Got defense break. He has his turn push, attack up. So he's hitting really hard. He's hitting very, very hard. And then the other thing is too, is that on top of that, he's also has Leon here, so she's getting her rotation. So yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Like this is a very viable team. And then the other thing is too, is Valerian's still OP for PvE, because she gives freaking shield and stuff like that, and she can HP balance. So she's great. And then he put her on a defense pet with a shield. So that's basically going to give a defense up and then shield to the person with the lowest HP threshold, which is probably Gray or Heinrich, one of those 2. So it's going to keep them alive. But yeah, Levi just made proper investment choices. That's it. So you can do PvP with your PvE units at start. Oh yeah, 1000%. I think like that's the thing, right? If you, okay, and this is for the 20 something plus people that's here, you guys are going to have that edge because you get to actually see how these things perform. The initial grind, you have way more SR resources. Like, you just do. Like, you just have way more SR resources. Maxed out Gray, 5 out of 5 on everything. You're not doing that with any of your SSRs right now, right? Like, he's close with his Leon, but even then, right? And then you have, again, Valerian's pushing her most important skill for the health equalizer skill. And then you also have the 5 out of 5 on Chiaki the Echo. People were, the people were trying to play me when they were like, oh, why you use Chiaki the Echo so much? I'm like, bro, this chick is broken. What are you talking about? Like, she is so good. Chiaki the Echo, she's been good since she's come into the game, which was in CBT 3. You said, yo, it's good, Levi. You said my ears tingled. No, honestly, no, but I think some people, they were seeing this and they were like, oh, like, how the hell is like this person doing this right now? Like, just casually clearing it. And it's like investment choices. Like, that's all it is. It's just investment choices. Because even if you're looking at like, okay, this one extra unit, right? Like, if you're building, like, say that 3rd SSR, or you're building a 4th SSR, you got to think about how much more of your resources are being thinned at that point too, right? It's just kind of what comes with the game. So it's like that's why like the last beta, I was playing with an R rarity unit, and I've been seeing people telling people not to use R rarity units, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, if you want to do that, sure. But I'm like, you got some R rarity units that are actually really good, and they cost almost nothing to invest in compared to obviously trying to build an SSR. Like Ashu is going to be good for a really long time until people really start to flesh out their SSR investment, because again, the dude AOE silences, he AOE DOTs, and it's like, bruh, that guy, I was farming people, for example, with that PvP setup in CBT3. It was literally just a dot team that I was using for PvE. Like, I was just straight up farming people with that. And and it was with him on there. So people would look at the team like, oh, this team's weak. But the scaling of gear, like even with lower base stats, you're still like the unit's not incompetent because they have lower base stats. Like that would almost be, I guess that would be basically something you would try to argue with with a unit that has lower base speed. Like, oh, they have the lower base speed, so they're not going to be able to be built fast. That's not necessarily the case. Like it's kind of the same idea there. So you said I saw somebody cook with Andrew. Bro, there's a lot of the units, man, can do stuff. Like that's the thing. You just got to find where they work. And that's why I've been telling everybody, I'm like, hey man, like where the game is at, there's still a lot of things that are unknown and still need to be tested, and a lot of different strategies and combinations that people just haven't tried yet. Some of it might be based around what pets you end up getting later on. Some might be the gear. Some might be actually figuring out the combo of units. There's a lot of different variations to that. But once you have that down pat, like for me, I'm only behind on this account because I just wasn't playing. Like I'm gonna be honest. Like I think I like didn't play for like 2-3 days. So, but I also was playing on my other account. So there's that. You said, how do you see the strategy tab? Oh, the strategy tab, if you just click on, there's a book right here. I don't think my head's blocking it, but if you just click on that, it'll just show you, right? Like you just click on that tab and it's like a little bookmark. It's like a literal book with a bookmark on it. Once you open that, it'll show like all the top teams and speeds that people are running that specific stage at. So yeah, helpful resource right there. So the thing is for Terra, you need to have Heinrich or Veronica, or it's locally impossible to do on auto. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, especially, like, you're talking about, especially doing Cataclysm, like, that's what I was talking to a couple of my creator friends about. I'm like, I like, because they're like, oh, I finally hit level 50. I'm like, good luck with Cataclysm. Like, I like Cataclysm's a different game, because the other thing is, too, like, you do have to be more mindful, like, with the fact, or really the idea that now you do get punished for using certain things. So like initially I was using like climbing terror, I was using Obel. Like once you get to Cataclysm, you're not using Obel in there. Like you're just not. He's getting punished beyond imagination for being in there because he's a water attribute, and that's any water attribute. So you're not bringing, you know, your Tiamats. You're not bringing. I think Ling Lao is water. Like so, like those units are getting punished like pretty heavily. So if you have like units like Veronica, which again she's attribute advantage, which is pretty huge for her. Units like Heinrich, where he's neutral, he has really good buffs to help with buff blocking and stuff like that too. And that's like the two main things that you have to kind of consider is like, how can I prevent the two serpents from being useful to the you know, to Terra Matan essentially. And if you can basically nullify or mitigate those things, then you perform a lot better. Because a lot of people I've even seen, like they'll try to like kill the right serpent, and I'm like, bro, you know how tanky that shit is? Like you're not killing that. Like you have to deal with the turn push to some degree. But what you want to do, you want to definitely prevent the buffs from happening if you can, because that's what's going to get you cooked. So that's just kind of like what it is. He said boss starts with 3-turn immunity at start without turn 1 strip. You can't clear on auto. Every other turn 1 strippers are blue units. Yeah, that's outside of maybe I'm trying to think. I don't think he would even use it. I don't know if he would even use it on auto, because I don't think he's blue. But I don't think, yeah, you have Sutomo, but I don't know, I don't think he's going to use his buff strip on turn 1. That's one thing I think we do need which I think would be, well, it actually suitable actually might be really good for Automaton or for Terramaton because yeah, he S3s. That's the problem he's gonna have for sure. So they need to allow us to be able to, which I think Raid actually does it, which I feel like is the best thing to do, is to allow for at least PvE, definitely not for PvP, but at least for PvE content, allow people to be able to pick the specific skill they want the unit to cast first, because yeah, that does become a big like prohibitor in essentially being able to do the fight properly. You said set skills up on set skills up on auto. I think the auto lets you pick the order, but I don't think it actually lets you pick the skill. I think it lets you pick who you attack, but I don't think it lets you pick the actual specific skill for each character. Because that would be basically a way to kind of solve that problem for most things, really. Because like that's the thing, is like there's options, but like if they don't, like you said, like if they don't do it turn one, then you just kind of get cooked. So let me see. Yeah, it's only order from what I remember. Yeah, because if it was actually like the skill specific stuff, you would have to do like, they would have to do like some sort of like preset teams and then let you pick at what interval you want to use the skill. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's mainly, yeah, it's just attack order, which would be, I mean, this is still helpful, but like it's not that specifically. Like that's definitely a little bit more intricate, and it definitely works those kinks out, to be honest. You said Veronica is on par with Heinrich on that fight, though. Stealing the turn 3 immunity and putting it on your entire team is neat. Oh yeah, dude. Veronica is probably, like, after seeing how she performed in the tournament, she might easily be one of my favorite characters to progress in the game with. Because the thing with her is, like, you can use her and apply her to PvP too. Like, and the thing that's nice about her setup is that she would basically work really well against the revivers, like specifically ones like Beoten. Beoten, like she counters Beoten pretty hard. But even like the Hell Kids, like all the units that can do crazy buffs or have unique abilities, the fact that she can steal that is crazy. Like it is kind of cool. And I don't feel like it's too bad because they make it to where she only can target one person, right? Like if it was on like some AoE crap, then that would just be too much. Like that would be too much. You said they need to nerf her S2. That's just too OP. Okay, but okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's go to her S2, right? So S2 is what? It's a ton of shield, basically, right? I don't know who's like, it's like, yeah, but then you got Hell Kid, like you got units like Hell Kid. Like I feel like at that point they would have to nerf a lot of units, because like people do, like each character does something really OP to some degree. Like it's just a matter of the application of it, right? So like some of it is also set up. So like I showed in the tournament, like I shut down a team with a Veronica on it. I just didn't let her get her turn. Like there's like, so it's ways around some of these things. The problem is that when characters get going, there's some characters that are just really hard to stop. Like you just can't stop them. So I think it's kind of like the same thing with like the Codex of Magic setups, where people just rotate you into oblivion. It's just kind of like, well, there's that. You said that should be only 10 to 15% of her max HP. You said because 20% hits too hard. But isn't that what Lilith's is? Lilith's is 20%, I'm pretty sure. At least I thought it was. Nah, hers is higher than 20%. Wait, yeah, hers is 30%. Yeah, Lilith's is 30% of her own HP, bro. So unless, is that off of someone else's or her own? No, that's based off of what, it goes up to 20% of her own max HP. Yeah, so that means that Lilith would need to get nerfed in too. Because the thing is that you take the damage from the hit itself and then the explosion from graceful mischief of Lilith too. So she would have to get nerfed too, if that's the case, because she has a way higher HP parameter. But she doesn't really have any other like gimmicks, I guess. You said lowest damage is calculated on defense. Oh, that is true. That is true. You're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Veronica deals true damage based on HP. It's HP drain, not damage. Oh, you're right. You're absolutely right. So then, yeah, she might need a nerf then. They might have to tweak her. I mean, again, I'm not arguing it because she was oppressive in the tournament too. She's very oppressive. I actually had to ban pick her because she was just doing. I just didn't want to deal with her. I don't even think it was the fact she was doing a lot. I just didn't want to deal with her. I was just like, nope. So I was ban picking her. So yeah, true damage. Yeah, true damage is definitely a different scaling. So yeah, that's a problem. You said also the strike prep gain. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, I think this is kind of though what happens every time they implement a brand new unit is because like this unit like literally was intended to make I guess a slot unit for counter cleave, like and like counter I guess buff basically because Christ. So yeah, they're gonna have to adjust her, but I think that's why it was probably. I think that's probably another reason why they decided to do another beta too, because they knew they were going to be implementing a shit ton of stuff, and I'm not sure how that would have went on an official release, especially with people making like permanent decisions. Because I think that's the thing a lot of people aren't like really like taking into consideration is like a lot of the decisions you're making now is like good prep, like kind of prepping and like kind of figuring out what you might want to do, but you're not stuck with those decisions, right? And I'm not really too confident in the fact that people are going to be willing to want to reroll after, like, say the first week, right? Because there's such a huge gap that happens just from account level pushing. Like, people are going to want to make those proper decisions off rip and just be able to keep, continue to play. So you want to do things like this, I feel like, before players make those, like, set in stone decisions on picking certain things. And then even those adjustments that you're going to make to massively change something if you are going to change it. Because yeah, nobody like, especially the way this game plays, I feel like it's a little bit harsher, especially too because it's the early game too. So like if you already start investing in something and then like say like your reset thing goes away for the event, then it just feels bad if you get stuck with a unit and then they have to nerf them and say this was permanent or something like that. Yo, what's up, Cake? I see you in the chat. What's good, Cake? Yeah, so it's like, yeah, there's definitely like a lot of tweaking they have to do. Yo, what's good, Zero? How you doing, fam? I'm doing all right, not too bad. Can't complain. We're just kind of talking about the the game, the balancing. We're actually talking about Levi's Terramatan speed clear that he got going on right now. I think this makes Levi the number one fastest Terramatan clear in CBT 4 currently. The only person that's doing it under a minute. So, hey, listen, you guys are learning from some of the top, right? Some of the best. He said, by the way, CBT ends in 2 days, right? Yeah, it technically ends tomorrow. It ends tomorrow, dude. So yeah, it ends at like 9 p.m. CST, which is my time. I think EST that might be about 10 PST. Excuse me, that's probably about like 7. Yeah, it's like 7 o'clock. So yeah, obviously I think for UTC plus 8, that's about 11 a.m. if I'm not mistaken. So that's like that in that time zone to be about 11 a.m. Said Sashman, most of the game is gonna hurt. Yeah, I mean, honestly, we're all kind of hoping that things kind of transpire, a little bit quicker. Right now, like once we go out of this beta phase, I'm pretty sure we're gonna go into probably a hardcore localization phase. So I'll probably be helping out with that. So I'll keep you guys posted. Like I'll keep you guys posted as far as all that stuff goes. Kind of working in the background too, because I want to make sure we get like some tournament stuff. I was gonna try to do it with this beta, but I was like, I want to do it with like the CBT or with the official release, just so that like people actually have their accounts and stuff like that too. But yeah, doing some stuff with that, trying to work that out. I already recorded some of my first collab videos with some of the other content creators, so I'm gonna have that stuff rolling out. After some of the CBT stuff ends, and those are going to be like pretty cool to watch because it's just different perspectives from some of your favorite creators, right? And there's still some that I actually have to record with some other CCs too. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun. I'm really trying to make sure, at least as far as my role in the community, that like I'm just making it as fun as possible. Like I really want creators to come together more, because I kind of noticed that, like in at least for those of you guys that have played or are like a part of like the E7 community or like the Summoners War community. Actually, let me know this. Okay, how often do you guys see your content creators in those spaces like actually collab with each other? I'm genuinely interested. Like do you guys do you feel like that's even something that's done a ton, or like even like people care about? Because I realize in some spaces like I notice that people just don't care about it because they just don't have it. So it's like in comparison to like when I watch, like, which as much as people hate that community, and not even the community, the game, as much as people hate that game, it is probably by far one of the most like interactive communities I've seen, which is the Raid Shadow Legends community. Like there's always creators doing stuff with each other, there's always content, there's always new creators, like, and I'm just sitting there like, dude, like this is like one of the worst gacha structures, and this game still has so much like content flow and compared to like these other games, which is kind of interesting to me. He said, I feel like collabs between creators is going to be fire for this game. I already got some stuff that's like that I want to do that's going to be really fun. You said community carried it for sure. Yeah, dude, that's the crazy thing. Like that game is like 1,000% being carried off a community. And that's one thing I'm like trying to prevent now, even like, and not even prevent it, but just making sure that we have a really solid relationship with the developers and just whoever they set in place for like representing the player base for the global audience, and whoever's representing CN, whatever. Because I know like E7 just had a thing where they lost their I think their CMs for America basically recently, and so like that's like been like a real big like thing that everybody's been kind of concerned with over there, because that representation is so important to get changes implemented for each region and stuff like that. So that's why I've been like trying to work on the stuff I've been working on the last 2 years, because I want to make sure that relationship is just maintained and is there, because it's really, really important, I feel like, for companies to listen to their players, to be honest. You said, yeah, please do. After the E7 disaster, people will probably ask how the relations are. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like personally, I have a really good relationship with the development team. I'm obviously working with them. So I'm doing stuff as far as being part of the staff. So that's been a really cool experience. But I think for me personally, one of the most unique things about this experience, and compared to the hundreds of games I've ever played, is like I've mentioned before, the producer actually is in the community and like interacts with everybody. Like right now, I could message the producer and be like, hey, what's going on with this, or like whatever, and he's gonna respond. Like it's like little stuff like that to me that's like really important. Which, you know, you have like your dev team, and then you have the producer over the dev team. Like I don't think people actually realize like how much of a step that is. So to see a producer that's so Oh, did I mute my mic? Dude, I hit my own mic. Bro, my fault. I was like, bro, you know why these mics are so sensitive, bro? Wait, what was the last thing you guys heard me say then? Yo, what was the last thing you guys heard me say then, bro? Because yo, like it's crazy, because I can glaze the top of my mic like this. Like I could barely almost touch it and mute it. You said your mic mutes on touch or what? Yeah, it's, dude, this is a $300 mic. like they basically, I can probably snap in my mic mutes, bro. Like, like seriously, that's funny. You said, I said, no, I thought I was mute for my ears, bro. He thought it was the end of the world. You said you were talking about how you could message and definitely respond. Yeah. So yeah, basically that, right? But it's just like, again, for me, that's important, because I don't use that as like oh, I get to just talk to the devs. Like, I don't care about that. For me, it's just like if things are happening within the community, I can directly ask, right? And it's not like this like weird thing where it's like this random dude just met. Like, it's like, no, I actually have a rapport with him. He's actually the reason why. So I'm going to be doing some travel vlogging. I'm going out to headquarters this year. I talked about that last year a little bit. But he's the reason he approved that, right? Like, and that was before I knew he was even the producer, to be honest. So yeah, he approved that. I'm actually going to be doing a podcast interview with the producer of the game, which I think is going to be really cool. And so that's going to be something that I'll do to like get more direct questions as we get closer to the release, all that stuff, to actually ask him that people might want to know and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty neat. You said the way he aggressively taps the mic when he needs to. Now the mic is traumatized and mutes itself with the slightest friction. No, I do actually hit the mic pretty hard. Yo, I really do normally. I just be like just straight up slapping it, bro. That's crazy though. It was funny because until I read the chat, I would have never known. I could have kept talking for like another like 45 minutes and be like, damn, yo, like that's crazy. Chat just start hating me out of nowhere. All right, so do did I finish this yet? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. He said, I thought my headset battery died. Bro, I hate anything that uses a battery, man. I like at this point, I just need solar charged everything with infinite battery life on it. Let me see. Was I using him for this? I might go gray. We'll see how this works. Oh, they are way faster now. So just bought the Cloud Alphas. Didn't know I survived before, or how I survived before this 300 hertz battery life. Bro, like it's so game changing when you get certain things too. You don't realize how much you were settling before until you get something new like that. It's like, damn, was I really experiencing life like this? He said whatever happened to the batteries that charged when exposed to heat. He said they were supposed to be coming to the market soon. Last I heard was about 5 years ago. I bet you they probably started blowing up like bombs or something. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, they probably started doing something crazy like blowing up or something crazy. All right, we should be good here because now we can CC rotate. Oh, my boy didn't get his turn. Oh, we might be cooked. Damn, I have to bring Shiaki then. Oh no, never mind. We're good. He said they probably killed him. It's so stupid, yo. Probably killed the dude that invented it. He said, I just bought PC 2 days ago, and I don't know how I played on my laptop for 5 years. Yeah, man. Dude, if you guys have any PC recommendations, let me know, man. I might have a friend build. I might just buy the parts and have a friend build it for me. That might be the wave. But yeah, I gotta get a new PC. We need those upgraded specs. These games nowadays require these crazy specs with this Unreal Engine 5, bro. I need to literally see character sweat though at this point. I think it's been long enough. I need to see the sweat molecule dripping. He said I said that's the best way if you want a good comp, build it. Yeah, that's true. So, well, the automotive industry is filled with coincidental deaths of engine innovations, basically. Wait till the 5090 comes out and get the cheaper 5090. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was talking to my friend Exo about doing that. He was like, "You gotta have to get it like that first week, cause he's like after that first week, it's gonna just go up in price, cause he's out in Canada, so." Yo, they're tanky. There you go. So I don't know if you guys have realized it, but my goal this beta was to try to play as much content without a healer. I have not been using a healer at all. Like, I've been playing everything with no healer, bro. Like, literally, I don't even think I have a healer leveled, bro. Hold on. Yeah, we don't got no heals, bro. I've been playing this whole beta with no healer. You said the 5K series from Nvidia is supposed to be as fast as a 4090 and it's only about 500. Wonder if it actually works. That's what I was kind of like on the fence about. It's like I don't mind paying cheaper like price points for stuff, but I always look at that as a thing. Like what's the catch? What's the catch? You said, is no healer actually no, healers are viable. Like healers are beyond viable. Like the thing is that I'm trying to just test and see like at what point do I need to have a healer, like realistically. But to be honest, like I would say one of the top healers in the game is Sania. Sania's insane. You said, oh, running no heal actually viable? It depends. Like working your way up, if you're able to get your rotations like properly done, then you don't necessarily have to go too crazy. But I would say most people are gonna have to run a healer. Like, don't be me. you're gonna have to run a healer, bro. Because the problem you're gonna run into is also gear gapping. You're gonna get gear diffed a lot, like just by dungeons. Yeah, protection, yeah, shielding. So my heal isn't even a direct heal, for example. Like the only thing I actually fixate on, because you have to consider the fact that majority of my team, like they have like 30k damn near, if not almost more HP at this point. So I'm using like pets like this, for example, that give defense, like that gives defense up and shields. So like, for example, this is giving additional shield based off of 380% of Rahu's defense. So that's like a crazy defensive layering basically for me to like keep my squishiest unit from dying, because it's literally for the ally with the lowest HP percentage, which typically is going to be one of my DPS. So those are usually the characters I have to worry about, like not, essentially dying before I can finish the fight. And because I'm doing a lot of stuff with like DOT, the work down on most fights is pretty quick. Like I'm not in those fights that long. So it gives me enough time to rotate properly without having to worry about having to heal that character, or like if you're doing Terra Matan, having to worry about Gray dying mad randomly, and then Terra Matan just starts like power rolling you because now you got characters starting to die. So it's like playstyle preference at that point. But I'm trying to try different playstyle preferences out just to kind of see. So if somebody asks me like, is it possible? Like, I don't want to build a healer right now. Can I do this? Like knowing that versus like, okay, playing it with a healer. Like I played the last beta with who did I use? I think it was Chiaki, and I used Ling Lao. So the base Chiaki actually has heals with damage, what is it called? Damage reduction in her kit. You said somebody beat somebody beat Kata Aurora and it took 20 minutes. Oh hell no. Hey, but listen, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. A clear is a clear. So wait, is it really? Oh, dude, that's crazy, bruh. Hey, listen, a clear is a clear. I'm not gonna lie. You know why this is actually impressive? Because he's actually using a freaking 5-star team. Like, that's actually kind of impressive. And the dude that did it in 7 minutes is kind of even more impressive because he's using a level 1 5-star. Like that's kind of impressive, bro. Like that's actually kind of impressive. You said, yeah, Aurora's Madness couldn't do it manual, but it's impossible at the current state to do it on auto. Yeah, that's actually kind of impressive. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, you already can see, right? You're using Valerian. Valerian's really good. Valerian's value, I think, is still extremely high. I think where her value kind of diminished a little bit was in PvP, because you got to remember in CBT 3, Valerian was god tier in PvE and in PvP. Like, so that was like the big thing with her. I just feel like her value is just, it seems to kind of shift it a little bit more to PvE, but I still think she's going to be usable in PvP in the right setup. So that's just kind of that. And then the other thing is too with this, like with those teams, hold on, because I know Hollow gets punished here. So yeah, they shifted Hollow completely out. So yeah, they're running the Rahu, Veronica, which is just kind of insane. I mean, the survivability alone on this team is kind of nuts. Like this is all sustained basically. And then what they're basically are ramping off of is Doki Doki's passive stuff. They're going to be constantly moving quicker. Any debuffs that are being applied, Doki Doki can like literally remove those debuffs, and then you have Ling Lao to place immunity to prevent some of them. So yeah, I mean that the team in theory is like actually not a bad team. Like to be honest, it just needs to be built and it'd be faster. You said Valerian is also usable early PvP where everyone runs around with glass. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that and that's the thing. I think like. I think everybody's been like I've had a ton of people asking me like, yo, like, what's the top 5 units that you want to invest in for PvP? And I'm just kind of like, well, it depends on what part of the game you're at. Cause like, if we were to say to base everything off of the RTA tournament that we just had, then your top 5 picks would easily be Tiamat. It would be Silence. It would be Hell Kid. You would have Veronica in there. You would have probably, I'm trying to think who else was in that crap. That was at least SSR. That was non-light dark. I'd say Lilith was in there, but was she the top? I know it was those for real. Like even Ling Lao was used quite a bit. I think Ling Lao was actually used way more than freaking Lilith because of the current meta. But like those units would be basically some of those choices for some people, but when you're going like into the game early, like those units aren't giving you nearly as much value as a maxed out SR. So like the dudes that are running around with the Greys, the like the Valerians, the Obos even, I would say probably Kraken is going to be much better for people early. He still works into Endgame too. So like it's like those units are just going to have much more value, and then while you're doing that, consistently farming at that point, you're still building up resources to further build those things. So I just think it's just more so the more you progress, the better it is for your account long term. And you're eventually going to, when you shift into the next phase, everybody's still going to be adjusting when you're now going into that next big thing for your account, and even getting the skill ups and stuff like that too. You said 30-minute clear would be approaching Dislight's old tower times. Yeah. Bro, remember, like, that was crazy, bro. We were doing tower floors 45 minutes, 55 minutes, bro, to clear one tower floor. Like, I don't miss that at all. Like, that was really crazy. Like, now I'm thinking about that. That was actually insane. Like, 55 minutes on one floor is crazy, bro. Like, why am I even here at that point? Like why is it even taking that long? It just should not ever be the case. So yeah, I don't know. Let me see. I got a little bit of, I don't have enough Etheria coin to really max out that yet, and I might want to mess with Heinrich. I need to get the next set though. So Lilith, Leon, Gray, Sania, SR, Valerian. Hopefully Veronica and Heinrich would be the 6 units, or the only 6 units that I would focus on for over a month. People have been building SSR only and wondering why they can't progress further. He's like, are they gonna nerf Bloodbath? I don't see why they would. Not necessarily. No, I don't think so. I don't think they would. I think what they'll probably do is implement there's a couple of things they could do. Adjust some of the pet values. Maybe implement a new pet. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna nerf Bloodbath, to be honest. I think it's healthy to have like something that works with like resist and stuff like that, but yeah, I feel like the best thing for them to do is like what a lot of people are mentioning is that when you're in fights longer, making it to where damage stuff scales, to be honest. So people are complaining it's the only reason Axe. I don't think they're gonna nerf it. I think they might adjust it to some degree, but I don't think they're gonna like force a nerf it, because the problem with nerfing stuff like that is just gonna be bad. Like they're probably gonna touch it and it's gonna be bad. I think right now it's just been a meta shift. So like last beta people complained about cleave. This beta people are complaining about tank and the resist. So I just think that they're just gonna now kind of find that middle ground basically. We might see some characters get adjusted according to some of the builds and sets like that too. But realistically, are people gonna be touching those sets right away? Yeah, they'll probably get to them like within a month or so. Like especially once we get hit with the regular time structure for the game. Let's see here. I should take Oboe out at this point. I just like using DOT so much, bro. You said he cleaved you. That boy Brennan, bro, been cooking the strats, man. That's funny, actually. Let's see. I probably use probably need to get the kind of like using the pushback. We'll see how that goes though. You said too many saw comps at the top. Yeah. I mean, that is the meta though, like right now. It just is. Oh, you know what? I gotta run Rahu. And I don't think I have any gear on Chiaki. I just thought about that. Maybe they can finish. Oh nah, we getting cooked. I think our gear is too low. Yeah, I haven't even. Yeah, I gotta level Chiaki. Let's see. Gray can stay. Alright, that should be alright. He said Levi, that's exactly what I've been doing. So well, attempting, she's getting banned every game. It's like it has to happen that way. I'm just interested to see what the meta is going to be after all the changes are implemented. Damn, bro, you don't gotta be on my boy like that. And this is why we like tank, defense, shield pets, bro. There you go. So do you think they'll increase the lower shadow point drop rate from from farming EXP stages? Not necessarily. I don't think they're gonna increase rates on that drop specifically. I think what they might do is, and this is something that I think a lot of people have been actually asking for. It's kind of rough because I know the intertwines as to why it hasn't happened yet. But I think one of the best things for the game they could actually do is allowing people to be able to purchase their own stamina so they could farm more. Because we are technically farm gated basically from stamina. But the thing about it is that, like, as is, if the company is being published in China, they're not going to allow them to uncap stamina for people. They would have to outsource, and like they would have to publish out of like Singapore, but everything is coming out of China right now, so I don't know what the likelihood of that is. Um, I have no idea what the likelihood of that is, and I mean it's probably like slim to none because those are like actual laws over there. It's not like they just are choosing to do that. Um, it's kind of the same thing we had happen in and what's it called, Dislight. So we had the game was being published under Lilith Games, and that was their headquarters based in China. So Lilith Games is based in China, but if you look now at any of their games, they it now has on the title screen Farlight Games. And Farlight Games is their Western or their globalized like publishing like sub company basically. So they published the game out of Singapore, and so what that kind of allowed them to do was like have creator freedom and also like the ability to be able to do things like that, like giving more stamina, uncapping stamina, stuff like that. Because if you look at like the other games that are pretty massive, like the Summoner's War, the what's it called, the Epic 7. Obviously Epic 7 is based in KR, so like they like same thing with Summoner's War, they kind of just let players buy however much stamina based off of how many crystals they have in the game. So yeah, people do that, but it just like I don't know. I would say the biggest thing is really just more stamina really for people. It's just kind of it's kind of like the big thing is just more stamina really. You said increasing the cap would be enough, to be honest, if they can't remove it. The time I can actually play is usually 1 hour because I'm so limited. Yeah, that's fair. I think honestly, the other thing that I think would actually be even more helpful than that is having a stamina storage. So like, you know how like HSR, Weather and Waves has it. I think Genshin might have it too. But basically it's like a cumulative of like a couple of days or a day or something like that. So like if you can't get on, then you can accumulate, like, so it just makes it to where you're not having to grind every single day. Yeah, PTN added it not too long ago. Those types of functions are just becoming really popular, even from CN base games. And I think it's kind of a way around directly increasing certain like values, because like you got to think about that. It's like if you technically have a cap and the cap is ever full, you're never getting any excess stamina. Like you never have excess stamina. Versus like if you miss a day with that excess storage, then you could technically still be accumulating stamina that you would have been technically missing for whatever X amount of hours you weren't able to actually play the game. So those types of functions, like I agree, like a cap raise would be good, storage would be great. So any of those would be nice. I just think, again, like with a game that's so extensive in grinding, I just feel like you want to allow players, if they want to be able to grind a little bit more. There needs to be a healthy stopping point, at least for the very beginning. I've seen some people that's like, oh, they should just let you free farm and do what you want. Like, and I'm like, well, you got to consider most of those games when they first released, whether it had been Summoner's War or E7, they weren't just a free-for-all. Like you still had parameters, you still had like limitations in the beginning of the game. They're a little bit more freeform now because the games are older and there's like even more content than before, so they had to kind of open it up for players to be able to like realistically be able to keep up with the content that they have in the game. So on the initial release, I'm not expecting them to just let us do infinite farming, because that also would cause a pretty big gap. Like, I know, I mean, there's a gap's gonna happen, but it's gonna create an even more significant gap amongst the players that are able to like afford to do that versus the ones that aren't. And then people are gonna start complaining about that because they're gonna be like, oh, I'm in RTA and I'm getting clapped by the dude that has on day 2, he already has Cataclysm gear. I'm like, bro, I'm getting clapped by the guy that got Cataclysm gear already. You said, yo, what's good, brother? You said, do you know if they will do a position 3 ban protect and RTA again? They don't have that in the CBT. I don't think it's in the lower tiers. I think it's in the higher tiers, Brennan. I think that's probably where you're gonna start seeing it present itself more. Because ban pre-ban and ban picking and all that stuff, like it doesn't really make sense to do that in the lower tiers, because the problem is like players don't have enough stuff built yet for it to make sense. So like if you go and you just ban, like I in my head, this would be my strat. I would just ban the top rerolled characters like every time, because I know for a fact 2 characters are not going to be usable on most people's accounts. Like even if I don't know what the characters are that person has. So it's like you're going to have a pretty high average at that point of like just winning if you do that, because it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, they're probably not going to have that. So yeah, I think like that's definitely stuff for like later on for sure, because then at that point people would just have more stuff. Oh, it was Nightmare 3. Okay. Yeah, people would just have more stuff. Let's see. Wait, which one were we doing on Nightmare? Is Nightmare 3 or higher? All right, let's try it. I don't know if we're gonna get clapped, but we'll see. He said I need a band protect. Golden up, please, and thank you. I feel like gold is not, it's not a bad rank to start it at, to be honest. Because at that point, I feel like you kind of have a little bit more of a generalized idea. But again, I think the only thing like really is like the pre-bans. I don't think they should start that till a little bit after, because you still need more stuff on your account. Like pre-bans would be like really rough if you had to do, or if they're gonna do it, they need to do like a single pre-ban, and then when you get into the top, then you can have double pre-bans. Because like double pre-brands, like, and you're saying that potentially 4 units can just be completely not usable, is just kind of a lot, to be honest. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, let's see what this does. He said, what's your lineup for a pay? So I'm having a hard time with her in Ember. I think in Ember, she's slightly different. I don't remember what the mechanic is for her. I think I don't even think I've gotten to it on this account, but regular a pay, I just was using DOT. I have to see, is there any mechanic on it? Because I don't think it's the same mechanic as like the regular Shao fight. He said, she's immune to die. Yeah, to see. that's the difference. That's the difference there, yeah. He said, they should just give you a free 1,000 stamina just for daily login bonus? For what, though? What, you just saying, like, just in general? Just cuz? Like, no special reason? Said, so yeah, pre-bans I needed, just 1 pre-ban protect and 1. Well, until later. Like I said, like once people are able to actually build up more stuff, then yeah. But but that's like, of course, something that just naturally will happen anyway, because people will have more stuff for you to like, just more stuff to deal with. Like in the beginning of the game, like it's just gonna feel bad just because most people are just gonna be building into like some of the same generic stuff because they're trying to progress. They're not really like gonna have too much diversity on their account. It says since when they release the 20+ new units, you kind of want pre-ban at some point. You said nah bro, these so they got to make some money. It said increase refresh to times 30, make it a bit cheaper, would be better for the game. It does force us for people to spend. Yeah, bro, I mean honestly I wouldn't mind a 30 refresh, like because that's the thing about spenders, right? Like there's people that will complain about like what spenders are do, man, and spenders are gonna do what spenders do best. They're going to spend. It does not matter what's going on. Like if they're gonna they're gonna spend, right? So yeah, I think at like that's the big question really for the game right now, is what exactly are they monetizing, right? Because I think we kind of have an idea of what they might obviously spend or what they might monetize, but there might be a couple of other things that they might emphasize, right? I think, of course, one of the bigger things as well that's going to happen, they're going to have to separate spenders at some point from the rest of the generalized player base, which usually spenders, I mean, especially heavy spenders, can make anywhere up to like I say anywhere from 5 to 10% of a player base, depending on how big the player base is. So usually you want those guys kind of off in their own pocket, because they're gonna be doing spender stuff. So yeah, like those dudes you kind of want there, right? But for sure, for everybody else, you definitely want you know, them to have like accessibility to stuff, but you don't want to give them everything, because then it wouldn't incentivize spenders to spend at that point. Like, what would be the point of them spending if they just got everything, right? And so that's kind of that idea. It's still a gacha, so I'm expecting there to be some spend point that people have to spend or like purchase into. I'm just hoping that it's more of the things that like people actually want to spend it for. So like, for example, like refreshing stamina, I don't think people really mind doing that, because for them it's more playtime, and that's essentially what you're paying for, right? Like at that point is more playtime. Then things like cosmetics are always like a really nice thing, because then you're just paying for the thing that's for your favorite character. I already know like things that people are definitely going to want to buy are things that help them expedite their process, because that's the number one thing for spenders. People spend because they don't have nearly as much time, right? A lot of the times, right? And they just want to do things faster. So spenders are going to definitely spend for things that's going to allow them to expedite their process quicker. So being things that either raise star rarity or allow them to be able to say maybe level up stuff quicker. Like they're going to spend for those types of things. Like they definitely are. Spenders getting more stamina isn't bad, because you can have more playtime than someone and still get rolled in PvP. That's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, the other thing is too is like I've seen this all the time. Like I was like, so like when I played Dislike, I was in the top 1%, right? As far as like just most invested top players like in the game when I was actively playing. And the thing about that was that like I met a ton of people that were in the 1% and they weren't actually good at the game. They just had they just have been like playing for X amount of time. And I was still able to beat those individuals, right? Like, and it was people that spent like 20, 30, 40, $50,000 on the game, and I was still beating those guys. And it was just simply because they didn't fundamentally actually understand the characters fully. And then even down to building characters, like just because you spend a lot doesn't mean you actually play the game well, right? Like it just could just mean you just are spending a lot of money at that point, which is kind of messed up, but it's like that for some games, for sure. Like, shell packs, shell costumes. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, and that's the thing. They have like, dude, shell costumes. They have the MC costumes, the Chaki costumes, which is a little drone that goes around with you. So like, there's a ton of things that they can monetize that isn't directly gacha. I think another thing they might do too is they might have some paid banners. I could see them doing that. I could definitely see them doing some paid banners or something like that. Don't know exactly how what they would put in the paid banners, but it's like I could see them doing something like that if they really wanted to. I just don't think they need to go crazy with it, because there's some games that do paid banners and they'll literally put a ton of them in there. You said please no paid banners, bro. Honestly, you know why paid banners have such a bad rep? It's because of anime games. Like, paid banners are so bad because of anime games. They're not that bad, though, in most other games. And they do exist. Like, and I would say they exist in healthy games. Paid banners are just really terribly done by anime games. I just don't think anime games should ever do paid banners, because they just never do them right. You said, I pay 100% for Raul. I'm dead. I mean, the thing is that the pity is so low anyway, but it's just kind of like, you might as well just deal with that and just let people pull on that. You said they could do it, but we just have to leave the game. You said, pay banners should have no less than 10% rates. You said, the 10 times guaranteed 5-star pay banner at a game start is fine. But the others are just so bad. Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Like, you wouldn't be running or rotating paid banners all the time anyway. Wait, look at this comp. Oh, yeah. Bro, that was one of my comps. Minus the Sania. I used Viper, Ling Lao, Who else I use? Viper, Ling Lao, Rahu, and who the hell else was in that team? I think it was another. I think it might have been Silence. I think that was the team I was using. Yeah, bro. Any sort of shield tanking. It's like that double revive is pretty annoying. But that's where I'm not gonna lie, a unit like Hoyan would be great against that. Yeah, Hoyan would be great against that, to be honest. Like, I don't think people realize, like, a built-up Hoyan can almost one-tap Tiamat in her freaking Dragon Mother form. So she's gonna clear a Ling Lao, bro. She's gone. Like, that's the thing. Like, Hoyan's kind of scary. Like, I'm not gonna lie, cause I got hit in the tournament in my Dragon Mother form by a Hoyan, and it took me to like 20% HP. I was just like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, no way. Like, I got my HP back, but it was still kind of scary, because I was like, yo, she hits mad hard. But then again, Hoyan's like, she's definitely one of the hardest hitting characters in the game, for sure. He said, I feel like most Hoyans are just built wrong unless I'm reading her kit wrong. Well, I don't even think it's just that. I think also, too, Hoyan needs investment. Like, so it's kind of the same thing we had, like, I always talk about that, like, with some, like, I would say, honestly, it's most turn-based games. Like, there's some games where, like, or some units that require full skilling up. There's some units that, like, for example, let's actually see if we can look at her skills, right? Because I bet you everything for her skills is all damage oriented. So skilling her up is gonna probably be one of the most important things for her. All right, so let's see. So skill 1, damage basically, and then her anti-heal increases. Skill 3, damage, literally all damage. Then skill 2, which is her passive. That's the fleeting glance, which is her damage there. And that increases that to that 40%. So I would argue that Hoyan's definitely a unit you would want to full send if you're gonna actually use it, or if you want her to work properly. Because everything in her kit's kind of necessary. Like, you need to have all the stuff going on in the defense breach and the skill 3, because that's getting propped by the passive. So if that's not leveled, then that's not. Yeah, she's a full send character. I would say you could probably hold off on the skill 1, but even then, once she's done with that, she's still going to be hitting skill 1. But yeah, these two skills right here basically make up the damn unit, basically. He said, hold on, let's see something real quick. He said, I don't know if it is because I got to nightmares, but I feel like gear subsets maximize values is underpowered even if all 4 tools go into it. I mean, I don't really feel like it's underpowered at nightmare. I don't know. I don't personally feel like it's underpowered, but what are you taking, like, where are you taking stuff up to? Are you going to like plus 15 or plus 12? Let me see. Module. Where's Nightmare? Because Nightmare sounds early. Or are you saying all the gear? Wait, hold on. You said just got to Nightmares, and I feel like the gear still says maximize value. Oh, okay. The lower one. Oh yeah, they want. Okay, I was reading that completely wrong. Yeah. So anything under Nightmare, yeah, it's like Nightmare 1. You're gonna probably start farming. I mean, realistically, Hard 3 gives you some pretty good gear. And then you start farming Nightmare 1 minimum at that point if you're just getting into Nightmare. But yeah, you kind of want to have some solidified, at least that main team you're using with some of the gear from here, so that you can do Nightmare 1. You start farming Nightmare 1 so you can start getting these drops, and then you just shift. Like, that's literally it. You don't do like, you don't over farm, right? Like, I think that's a problem some players might be running into too, is like they're over farming because they're also trying to build too much at once. You really honestly should be only farming for the things that are going to progress you the most. And that's kind of why, if you can find units that can multi-fill slots, that's like usually the best thing, because then if you're say using a unit for 3 dungeons, you're only building 1 unit versus like each dungeon you're using a different unit. It's just gonna feel worse trying to build stuff, to be honest. It takes more time and resource. It said if Foyan isn't nerfed for release, she will be my reroll target. I mean, you can go for it. I just still think Hoyan's terrible for progression. I don't think she's that great compared to everything else. Yeah. Yeah, if you like her, like that's the thing though. I will say okay, so I think Crazy was here when I picked Chloros, and I still progressed pretty far. Like you might go a little bit slower than everyone, but slower doesn't necessarily mean bad either, right? Because that also gives you a little bit more time to also like kind of flesh out your stuff, and like everybody's not going to be trying to move the fastest or get there first, because eventually everybody's going to get to the same point, right? And so the thing is like, yeah, definitely the enjoyment, and that's why I've been like super big with all the tier lists. I've been very clear on like, okay, this is going to help you a lot for progression, but you can kind of almost do whatever you want, really. Like I played the CBT 3 with Chloros, and that was like, I'm not gonna lie, it felt bad, but that was on the note of like trying to power push stuff. I still was able to do stuff, but I had to kind of build around that, right? Like I was using more heals, for example, because like shield wasn't cutting it. Like I was like, all right, I gotta actually like have a healer. I gotta like, it was a lot of other things I had to kind of factor, because I'm in fights a little bit longer because I'm hitting a single target, right? So that's just kind of, you just have to kind of adjust according to what you're building into, essentially. You said Lilith is a must, for example. Heinrich, Veronica are must-haves too. Said can't do whatever for Cataclysm. That is the problem. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I honestly think that like with what's it called? I have to see what our next. Okay, so here's the thing though, Daniel. We're again moving at a much faster pace. The problem is that we don't have enough time to see. And I don't know if any of you guys have gotten this next thing unlocked. Right here, phase 2. This is probably going to solve that problem, to be real with you, because I think it's either Heinrich or Veronica you need to have, like you mentioned. And if you can just select Veronica here, then GG. There's no real problem. You just pick the unit at that point. So I don't think that it's intended, like as fast as we're going through stuff, I genuinely don't think it's going to be this way on release, bro. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Like, because if you're saying like within like a week or two and everybody is just kind of going through stuff, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I have no idea. It just says guaranteed to summon SSR Animus. I don't know if it's a selector or not, but if they can adjust that, or if we could see that, then that would kind of let me know, because I would then push for them to make this a selector. Because if this is going to be the next objective after week 1 going into week 2, that would be cool, right? I feel like that would actually be nice for the game. You get 2 selectors from the start. You get the first one, which is basically your guaranteed, and then if we could shift into phase 2 and that's a selector, that would be huge, because then it would prevent issues that you would come up across where it's like, we all need Veronica basically to do that. And it's like, all right, cool. Now you have that. Now, the only thing I would say though, is if they don't want Veronica to be that only unit, then they might have to change something gimmickly with the Cataclysm, because other than that, everybody's going to have Veronica, and she's going to be a thing for PvP for sure. So that's like, I can kind of see them like maybe being on the fence about that, but I don't know. I feel like that would still be healthy either way. And that would definitely be really nice for everybody. You said also would help accounts with bad luck. That is true. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, yeah, kind of like with my account where like I summoned Veronica 4 times. So I would be able to like say maybe use this for like if I was missing something important, like to slot fill, like I don't know, Tiamat or something that I really want, like because I was trying to pull for her and couldn't get her. So that would be something that would be really nice there too. And then the other thing is too is that in phase 2, I'm pretty sure there's a ton of resources for building up your account here too. So that's also kind of like why I was just like, I kind of wish the beta was a little longer so we could actually see that type of stuff. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You said you still need multiple copies for a unit to be useful late to mid game. He said, target summon in a selector. Week 2 is amazing. Way to avoid bad luck and just people salty quitting. Yeah, that's true. And salty re-rolling too. Because a lot of people are just gonna re-roll. Yeah, and you don't have to, yeah, you don't need multiple copies for mid game or even late game, right? Like technically. Like, especially if you're just trying to like clear content, like you don't. Cause I would say like you start like at that point you're just looking at like efficiencies, like as far as like making things easier to get like a little bit more crit rate so you don't have to build into it as much. But I would say the biggest dupe for every character is the last one. Like, yeah, the last one is like the biggest dupe for every character. Every other dupe you can kind of do without. I will say that like towards end, like, and that's the thing is like, are the people clearing stuff right now, are they at true end game? No. Like, no, they're not. Because true end game is like when you got all the perfect stuff you need or want on your build. We're talking about all 3 slots on your Animus, all 3 slots on your pet field, perfect rolls that you want, not perfect, but at least somewhat good or perfect rolls on your pet for that respective character. Then of course, obviously having your set bonuses fulfilled that you're trying to aim for the build. Skill ups into the character. There's a lot of other factors like before you really even start looking at dupes, and by then you're probably gonna, like, if we're just looking at the chances and the amount of pulls people are gonna have, let's say over the, like, let's say a 6 month period, like people are going to pull so many standard units, they're just gonna naturally be duping them. Like I don't think it's gonna be like this push like, oh, I gotta dupe them, because you're just gonna naturally do it. And then they also have this currency too. Like if people really care that much about duping, they could just buy this, the Anima Crystal point supply. And I think there's also somewhere we get this as well. And then you could buy dupes out of here. You also get shards for dupes out of the guild content too. So that's, if somebody's going that crazy about it, they could really just get it from there. But I wouldn't really push that. The highest things are usually going to be the Latices. Like it just is what it is. Latices are the most like valuable resource in the game. They're basically what makes your character kind of tick for everything, really. He said, Godforge just had a video about SSRs being given out. They want you to feel like a reward for your efforts, not just given out. Wait, huh? Wait, you said they had a video about SSRs being given out. They want you to feel like it's a reward for your efforts, not just given out. Oh, okay, not just given out. Okay, I just read that all together. That was weird. No, honestly, that's fair. I think the problem is, right? The problem is like in this situation, they would have to do something where they would have to give something out, because you can't reward an effort in something that doesn't exist, right? So if people are coming to the conclusion, which that's a valid point, right? If you come to the conclusion that for Cataclysm you need to have Heinrich or you need to have Veronica, that's not an effort thing. That's just like a luck thing. That's not an effort thing, because one there's no rate up banner for either one, right? Like Heinrich is just, you either pull them or you just don't. And then the same thing would be for, you either select Veronica in the very beginning or you just don't have her unless you get lucky. So at that point, to say like, am I gonna pull or have a person pick a character in the very beginning and then still kind of struggle working their way up, I don't think that's really like fair. Like you kind of want it to feel like, because at that point people are just gonna quit. You want it to feel like, okay, I can make the choices that I need to make for the initial progression, and then when I get to this point, having something else that again gives people another chance to pick, because I would say after that chance of picking, if you don't pick it, then that's on you. Like like if you go and you use your second selector on some nonsense, that's on you. So if you quit at that point, then hey, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like that's on you. You said hardest to obtain, should not sell Latice. I think honestly what they seem like they might do, they probably are going to sell Latice. I don't see them not, because what's going to happen is that it looked like from, at least from the event, which one we're looking at, this one, there's a there's 2 different shops, right? So you have obviously this shop that you can buy stuff out of, but then you also have the Harmony bundle, right? And this is using this currency, which is obviously so that you can buy that. That's it looks like it's gonna be one, but it's still there, right? Like, and this is obviously a paid currency. I don't think we're obviously gonna have this currency on release. Like, there's no way. I don't see that happening. But what they did was they were like, all right, well, we'll still have some packs in here that people can use crystals for. But yeah, this is basically like these are for sure packs that people are going to be able to buy. The only thing we don't really know is how much these are valued at. Like, yeah, we really honestly don't know. You said they have to sell a Tyson or go broke. Yeah, I mean, true. I don't really honestly know what else they could sell outside of cosmetics, and that like cosmetics is going to be honestly dependent upon or reliant upon unit release, right? Like, so that's just kind of one of those things. But yeah, they definitely have to sell something. And that's the thing. Levi is making a really good point. So you can get 9 Latice a month as a free to play. It's pretty generous in my opinion compared to other games of this type. That's actually really good because so that means that within realistically, so within 2 months, you can technically, was it 5, 10, 15? So yeah, so within 2 months you can max out an entire character. Yeah. So within so realistically, it's like a month and a half, like 2 months, you can max out an entire SSR, which that's the only character you can use that resource for anyway. So that's actually not bad, because I think it would have been bad if I think how they did it in like Summoner's War would made it kind of annoying was in Summoner's War, the Devilmon was applicable. Like, unless you got dupes for a unit, Devilmon was the standardized like resource for skilling up a character, which made it feel way worse in early Summoner's War when you were actually trying to skill up stuff, because it was like, I gotta skill up all these things. But like, imagine if every character used the standardized resource of SSR or the perfect Latice. Skilling up would be horrendous at that point. It would be really, really bad. But because they have different resources as well, it doesn't feel bad either way, because we could argue like for your SRs, you should be building those because you could max out an SR pretty quick. You're getting the evolution Latice like left and right. If you do at any point ever want to build an R rarity, the Latice for them are like super cheap. And then for the SSR, you then would have that monthly progression with those. I don't think that's bad. That's actually kind of nice. It's a Summers where you can get 1 per week, so 4 a month, which is like, yeah. That's like, yeah, no. Like, no. Like, no, that's not good enough, you know? So yeah, I mean, to be honest, that's way better. And I think like that's what for me is like I'm kind of looking at is like comparing things in the overall market and seeing like what that value is. And we also have to remember this is on release, right? Because is that Summoner's War currently, Levi? Because I haven't played in like, it was a few months now. I don't know if they changed anything. Oh wait, the event ended. I can't do it. But yeah. Yeah, so that's currently, so yeah, that's what I mean. That's on a 10-year-old game, right? So that's kind of insane. You say, yeah, we didn't even count events. Yeah, so yeah, then events, first time clears. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Like, yeah, bro, like that's I'm not gonna lie, I really feel like the game, like it's definitely some things they definitely have to address for sure. What I'm gonna do though, and I'm gonna bring that, I'm gonna try to have a meeting with them at some point so I can actually talk to them about all this stuff. Well, let me see. I'll put that in my notes. So the Veronica Veronica Heinrich is a big thing. We need to see what they're gonna do with that. And then second selector. So Veronica. And Heinrich. And then phase 2. You said, yeah, it's more than 4 if we add events, but base game is 4. So yeah, true. So true is like 6 per month. Really, I can't really count events in because it's pretty sure Etheria would do so too. Yeah, that's true. Um, so the survey doesn't work on my phone. Wait, where was the survey at in your box? Because I'm not sure why it's not working. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty legit though. So, okay, yeah, I'll make sure that to ask them about those things because that's gonna be pretty huge. So if you, it depends on if the events are consistent, right? Like I think right now, I think they've had different events every beta, damn near. Like I know, like the event right here for Ling Lao is mainstay, so this one applies, but obviously it's just for the beginning of the game. And I think what is it? It's one perfect Latice in it. Yeah, yeah, one perfect Latice. Yo, what's good, Tiger Lords? You said Summoners were early. You don't get that many Devilmons from events. It's very rare material, but lately we get more Devilmons from events compared to earlier years. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, that's why I said, like, I can say, like, the game, like, and I could even argue that for E7. Like, Summoners were E7. Even Raid to some degree, they're in much better states than where they were when the their games initially released. Because those resources were like basically non-existent. Like getting a legendary book in Raid like year one was like non-existent. Getting a Devilmon and let alone getting a 5-star unit in Summoner's War year one was non-existent. E7, good luck, bro. You having a tough time. You running around with level 30 gear in E7 year one. Like you ain't have MLs for real. You know, like it was it was a lot of different things that we didn't have access to. And I feel like sometimes like there's like amnesia kicks in when like games develop and it's been a long time. Like obviously the people that have been there for a really long time will remember those things, but when games are enter into their better states, people sometimes they'll forget like, damn dude, like it was pretty rough the first 3 years of the game. Like we didn't really have any like QOL changes. We didn't have implementations of you know, like balance. Like there really weren't a lot of different things that would happen in those earlier years for a lot of games. And so I think that's why for me, I kind of appreciate the fact that they're doing more of this beta stuff versus releasing the game. And then we kind of get cooked for the next 2 years because there's a lot of things that they're like, okay, now we actually have to make money, because that's what ends up happening. When they release the game officially, they now have to make conscious decisions because the game is live on what's going to make them money, but what's also going to help, you know, the player base or make the players happy. But the first priority for them is literally making money. Like they have to make whatever return that they've put into the game first for investors and all that stuff. Because that's just how it kind of goes in the world of game developing. Like, I think like another game, and if you guys haven't subscribed to that channel, I really recommend you do. It's another turn-based game that we have coming out called Godforge. If you haven't heard about it, but Godforge, there, and what I really appreciate with that process is kind of something a little bit similar, but even more in depth with how they're taking us through the whole process of how they're making that game. That game is being developed, for those that don't know, by other content creators. So Hell Hades, Chosen, Ivy League Gaming, a few others. I think even MTash is actually helping make that game. And what's really cool is that they're actually taking us through each like part of the process. So it's actually showing players like how things actually work. So they're going through the investor phase right now, or they're coming to the end of that investor phase, and they're kind of openly talking about how like that investor phase is like, you know, you have these people that are like trying to put money into your game, but like the release is so important because that release is now that chance you start making that money for your investors, and then you start making that money for, you know, as your individual company, and like, you know, you start kind of driving stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. You said it said Summoners pioneered it, so gotcha's so the gotcha was pure cancer. You said said don't speak of Summoner Gotcha. I thought it was the same place. He said now there's competition with gacha games with better systems, so they need to adapt, which is kind of crazy. It's like Summoners War is still the same, right? Like Raid Shadow Legends gacha fundamentally is still the same. I think they might have done some things that make it a little bit better as far as like I feel like they give way more currency. Like there's obviously like more events that give you more of those like 5-star and 4-star units to actually clear content, versus like before it was like you either pulled it or you just didn't have it. So like even like earlier summers where it was like all about the fusions, right? Like the fusions were insane. It was like, dude, like you had no choice but to do the fusions, because if you didn't, like you were just stuck. Like that fusion unit was huge to your account. So I feel like yeah, Raid. So Raid is actually, and this is the crazy thing. Raid is a good game for people that don't mind progressing fast. Like that game is a slow burn game. Like Raid is really a game where it's like you just gotta make do with what you got, and that's it. I will say for most players on average it's not a good game, because it doesn't really it doesn't feel it doesn't really feed into the quick dopamine effect. That's the problem I feel like with Raid, is it doesn't feed into the dopamine effect. And the gacha is, they really lean into the gacha structure basically based around almost something similar to what looters have, like when you get a drop that you farm for hours and it's like, wow, that's the best drop ever. They decided to take that mentality and apply it to the gacha, because gachas fundamentally have like, you know, obviously that as far as like the dopamine effect, but then you always like, especially nowadays, you have a pity parameter. So it's like, okay, I know I'm only have to do 100 pulls and I'm gonna eventually get that. Like not in Raid, no. Raid's not like that. Raid is, you will have boosted chances, but there's no guarantee. like there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee. Like, so if you get something, you are literally lucky at that point. And so I feel like with Raid, it's a really big, I think the biggest curve to Raid is the entry. The entry barrier is really harsh. I think the entry barrier for Raid is really, really harsh. And I don't get how they continuously have new players in that game, but they do. And like, I don't know, bro. Like they just do. They're doing something right because people keep playing it. He said when I tried Raid first, it had no RTA, so I wasn't interested. Now it has RTA, but it's too old to join and compete. Well, I don't know, cause so ironically, one of my friends, Deity, he recently got into Raid. He loves it. He loves Raid. Like he absolutely he loves Raid, because I kind of can see the catch-22 that he kind of mentioned with E7. He said he feels like one of the issues that he kind of ran into with like E7 and like how you can get bored with that is that they give you so much stuff and you just have everything. Like you get bored because it's like I already have it. Like you're not really aiming for really much, right? So I was like, that kind of makes sense, because I was like, when I went back to E7, this was like a couple years ago when I started that 30-day series. In 3 weeks, I had the most stacked E7 account in 3 weeks. Like I was in high tier RTA, I was in high tier classic arena, I was clearing everything that was like the highest stages for Wyvern, all that stuff in 3 weeks, right? And that's considering how old the game is now. So I did that in 3 weeks. And then after that, you're just kind of like you're just in that daily cycle grinding. And then you're just aiming for units for RTA really at that point. And so I think like that's something that he was kind of looking at. He's just kind of was like, dang, like it's kind of nice like to play something and you have to kind of make do with what you have. And then when you do get something really OP, it's like, dang, like, like that's like not everybody's like gonna have it, which is like I think kind of what you end up having in like games like E7 is like everybody's gonna have a lot of times the exact same thing. There's really not too many things that would separate your account from somebody else's outside of maybe gear at certain points, but for the most part people are gonna relatively speaking a huge percentage are gonna have a lot of the same things. So You said I'm tempted to play raid to till Etheria just for the hell of it. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, like, and this is my thing. I actually went back to all the turn-based games over the last few months just to go back and see the states of them and play them. I like played them every single day. I went back to Summoner's War. I went back to Raid. I went back to E7, and just to kind of see, because for me that's like always good data to have, like especially with me helping out with this game, like what areas are they obviously excelling in, and then what areas are they just absolutely not excelling in. you know so you said people keep playing raid because of the new release free units, and they make you competitive in the current meta but not top tier. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I think one of the first instances that I at least was aware of when I first realized they were doing that was when they released Ultimate Death Knight. Like that unit was making people's accounts go crazy, like, which was like so funny to me. Was like between the freebies, and then sometimes if you can manage, if you're lucky enough to stack up enough for that first rotation for your first fusion, there was another fusion that like really took people's accounts to a whole nother level, which was Wixwell. Anyone that was able to basically do Wixwell basically had like the clan boss god, essentially. Like that dude basically could make weaker teams do clan boss, which is literally the biggest like hurdle most players have to get over in that in raid when they first start. Like if you can't do clan boss, you literally can't really do anything else in the game, because that's a huge chunk of your income economy. So that was like a really big thing with raid. And so like they implemented some stuff here and there, but I think the biggest thing is really the event structure. I think the event structure is really a to each its own type of event structure. It's not really liked by everyone because it's also very random. There's no guarantees. There's certain tactics that they use to make the events even pay to win. Like that's like one of the things I would say that raid does have. That's a terrible thing that they have, is that like there's no consistency in the events. They're just like, you could be playing and have an amazing get through an event and it goes amazing, and then you could save for the next event that you want to do, and then you do that next event and it's completely different and it's more pay to win, and it could be the same structure and it's just more pay to win. And it'll be like something that they tweak that makes it to where it's like there's this specific thing you have to do to get more points so that you can get that specific thing you're trying to aim for in one of the tourneys that you have to do. And I think that that's another thing that sometimes can be rough for people too, is that like it's all tournament based. So like you literally like older players get cooked. Newer players, it's amazing though. Like if you're doing tournaments as a new player, you're eating on tournaments for the most part. Old players though get cooked on tournaments. So that's just how it is. That's just how it is. Bro, am I bugging? Yo, I'm not gonna lie, Lonzo. Have y'all been talking in the Twitch chat, bro? Like, I swear to God, my chat is not moving on Twitch. Like, so I just assumed you guys weren't talking. Like, and I seen like almost 20 people in there. And I'm just like, yo, I'm like, is Twitch like just not cooking right now? Oh shit. I literally only have been talking to the YouTube chat, bro. Yo, what's good, Deity? Yeah. Bro, what's good, bro? I was just talking about you too. I didn't even know Deity was in there. Yo, he said, see, told you. Yo, so my Twitch chat stops working sometimes. Like, swear to God. Like, it's not refreshing, bro. Like, hold on. This is why you guys gotta make me famous so that I can get my my dual monitor stuff set up, bro. Make me famous, guys. Make me famous. You said Twitch chat just like me, for real? Yo. How you doing, Deity? Yeah, yo, and you know what's funny? Me and Deity are actually playing Raid right now together. I just joined his clan. Like, but again, I will say we kind of got built up accounts at this point. But I went through the trenches though. I did play for the very beginning. It was rough. It sucked. It really sucked. But I wouldn't tell people like, yeah, just get over it. Just get over it. It's rough. It's rough. It's definitely rough. But if you can get over it, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. It's not bad at all. All right, let me see. Let me see if I can get Twitch working over here. All right, there we go. I'm not gonna neglect you anymore. You said, dude, if you knew what all I got done in the raid in the 24 hours, you'd be disgusted. First place in every tourney by miles. Bro, are you wait, yo, what the hell? Yo, I'm like getting cooked right now. I think I'm only number one in like one tourney right now. But yeah, no, I'm getting cooked right now, bro. I'm getting so cooked. You said CBT ending Monday? No, CBT actually ends tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. Well, you're in America, yeah. So it'll probably be 10 p.m. for you, John, because I think you're in EST if I remember correctly. Yo, you said official launch for this game. There's no official date yet. Yeah, there's no official date. Yo, Deity, what you doing today, bro? We still got to do a video, man. Like what's going on? What's going on, bro? Like what's going on? What's going on? I gotta hook you up with that with that raid money. I got you. I got you. You said grinding raid in Etheria. Fair. You said they 100% spend more on marketing than development. Yeah. Oh yeah, 1000%. Raid is I'm willing to put money on it. Raid is currently kingpin of marketing, bro. I like in Gacha, they're kingpin of marketing, bro. Swear. Like it's like there's no company right now that's doing better than them in marketing, bro. Because they are everywhere. I'll download a random app. Like, so you guys know like those video editing apps that you can have like on your phone, bro. Do you know like all the ads that play on that for me are like Raid? No other game. And I don't even have Raid on that phone. Like literally, I'm just like, bro. I'm like, how is this like? How are they just everywhere like this? So that's what I really. And considering how much money they put into the tournaments, I'm pretty sure XD is gonna put a good amount of money into marketing for this game. They just need to keep consistent marketing. I feel like every quarter would be healthy. Like you could just do a good like marketing campaign for your game every quarter and maintain that would be huge. Said the biggest streamers on the planet regularly do ads for that game. Imagine how much that costs, bro. Like I try to tell people all the time, my first raid sponsorship I did was probably one of my biggest sponsorships just from a singular game for like almost no work. I did a stream for 2 hours. Raid gave me 5K to stream for 2 hours, right? That was one thing. I didn't have to make any videos. I didn't have to do anything, just to stream the game and get people to download it. That was it. They gave me 5K, bro. Like that was my first sponsorship I ever did for Raid. And so when you think about that, like people will crap on, and I remember for a while people were crapping on creators like, oh, you're a sellout because you covering Raid. I'm like, are any of you just gonna casually give me 5K? like, I don't think so. Like, bruh, nobody's gonna. And I could go through a list of companies that are not paying creators 5K to do anything, like at all. So that's my thing. Is like I always try to tell people anytime I see a creator doing something like that, I'm just kind of like, dude, like support those creators. Because that's only going to help you get better content. Because if they can get crazy chunks from a game that's willing to hand it to them, then they could easily upgrade and do better stuff for the main thing that you might be following them for. You know, you said to be fair, they didn't know the money more than likely. So no one ever discloses that part. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I think most people actually are aware because in their community, dudes like Hell Hades and Ash Raid Shadow Legends and those guys, they talk about it quite a bit. And we all know at this point, those guys aren't like making tens of thousands of dollars. They're making millions, like where they're at. So I think like as far as their overall community, they're a lot more aware of it over there. But I think it's like, I think the problem that people really had wasn't even so much about the quantity, it was how the game actually was. So they just felt like people were trying to make them play something that was scummy essentially, right? So they're looking at it like, oh, okay, like you're a sellout because you're trying to make us play this game and it's not even a good game in their opinion, right? So that was really, I felt like, was the big barrier. Not even really so much the quantity, because some people don't care if they feel like the game is personally good. But I've like seen that even on games that I felt like I had a good percentage of people say like, oh, this is a really fun game. Then I had like that one random dude that's like, yo, I can't believe you did this sponsor. You're a sellout. No one should ever watch your content ever again. Like, dude, okay, prime example. I did a sponsored video for Etheria. I said the video was sponsored. I even had the little promotion thing that pops up when you first start the video to tell you that the video is sponsored. I had a guy comment and said that I'm misleading players, I'm lying to players, and I'm a sellout, and no one should ever watch my content. I'm unsubbing. I was just like, okay. I was like, what am I supposed to do with that? I genuinely don't know. But what was funny to me was that I'm being sponsored, like, and this is on a game that, mind you, I've been covering for 2 years already. So I'm being sponsored by a game I actually play. Which is kind of funny. I was like, what the heck? I was like, dude, I could see like if it was a random game, but this is a game I actually play. So I was just like, okay, well, it is what it is. So I just laughed at it. It was funny. It was just funny, man. You said there's that one guy that hired someone to keep summoning 24/7 because it took too long. Imagine how much shards he got. I feel like I heard something about that. You said, I mean, thank God you promoted. We need more people for fun, more funds for good gameplay for the devs. Nah, for real. But that's the thing though. Like, but my problem is like, and what usually happens is usually developers will outsource and they don't support the creators that actually do care about their game, right? Like that to me is like where the real big problem is like you'll see that happen quite a bit where companies don't do sponsor work with the creators that are already there. They'll do it with other creators, and then those creators don't even actually come to the community. And like once their community realizes they're not actually here for real, they're gonna dip, right? Like, so they're not even keeping like players or retaining players for real. So to me, it makes more sense to promote and push the people that, okay, you can put them out there, blast them in the promotions and stuff like that, but you know that your people you're bringing in are in good hands because those are faces that they can rely on for guides or for content and stuff like that. That's going to be consistent. So it's like little things like that, you know. And it's like, of course, you still want to use, people, right? Like that to outsource, but it doesn't make sense to like go and hire a Markiplier and then like it's like, yeah, he's gonna bring players in, but are those players gonna stick around? As soon as they realize like, oh, Markiplier is not really playing this for real, they're probably gonna dip, or it's gonna fall to the wayside for them. Lilith does that all the time. They'll do a collab with Markiplier real fast, and those players leave like super quick. Like they don't stick around, and they don't really have a reason to. Yo, what's good, Sion? You said there's also a lot of people in servers where E7 that has paid people to farm for them and play RTA for them since they don't have the time for it. What is that called? That's called I forgot what that's called. Piloting, right? Like they're paying for people to pilot their accounts. You said I've lost 15 times to similar constant RTA. I don't have the units to build to counter them, so I applaud the creativity, but when I can use the box to work it on from day one, it gets shot. Well, Brandon, I would say give them a chance to balance it, bro. Because I'm not gonna lie, last beta you just been upset because of cleave. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, so like between two betas, we've had two different experiences. Like last beta was all about speed and cleaving. This beta is all about tank down and bulk and like heals and reses and stuff like that. So I think again, like a big part of this beta, it was kind of unknown because they implemented a lot of brand new things. So I'm pretty sure they're going to tweak it because they definitely tweaked stuff from the last beta to this one. So we'll see what changes what changes they make. And one thing I recommended for them to do is I told them it would actually be a really good idea is kind of doing like some preemptive or like early patch changes. So just kind of going through some of the massive changes that they might have made to the game as far as like you know, revamping units or changing or tweaking content, like, because I'm like, that's highlight content that you can talk about when you're doing those streams for like, you know, closer or even after the release and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I ran to a cleave comp to butt up against the stall teams, and and I'm getting smashed. Yeah, I think right now what they were trying to do is they were trying to find the balance, because the CBT 3 CC and cleave comps were just hella oppressive. It didn't matter what tank down you had, to be honest. And that's really just kind of more so like relative to like unit selection, really. And he said, to be honest, we haven't seen the real meta yet. We're still early game. We have no idea how TO evolve, except for Tiamat being everywhere if they no nerf it. Well, no, I mean, well, you got to think about it. The tournament was in game. That was pure in game. The thing with that, I would say, is it 100% showed how problematic like the revive stall comps are. They're a problem. That whole tournament, everybody's characters are maxed out. Everybody's skill ups maxed out, top gear you could possibly have, best pets you can possibly have. That was like, everything was maxed out. And even then, you still seen the units that could cleave. They were still doing really good damage. Like, you had units like I did a round where I used Shieda. I almost clean sweep this dude's team, and it was a tank down team, right? The problem is, here's where the problem kicks in, is that Bloodbath and Lighthouse exist. So those sets completely like, like if Bloodbath didn't if really honestly Lighthouse didn't exist, I don't think Bloodbath would even be as remotely crazy. But because Lighthouse exists on top of Bloodbath, it's just a lot. Like, and then it's like when you start like thinking about like, okay, for those of you guys that's like, yo, what does Bloodbath do? What does Bloodbath do? You know, what does Bloodbath do? So when taking cumulative damage greater than 20% max HP, the excess damage is further reduced by 60%. Okay, that's number one. What does Lighthouse do? What does Lighthouse do? Lighthouse does, when the main body, so when the person takes a hit, cumulative damage greater than 25% of max HP within a turn, healing the main body for 25% of max HP, right? And then increasing their strike prep by 40%. These two things stacked together are damn near impossible to deal with, bro. Like, this is like, it is so oppressive. It's not even funny. Like, because the thing is, on top of that, I think, what is this, 2-turn? Is this 2-turn cooldown? It's like really low. So Lighthouse is just like way too much, bro. Like, this is what I mean. Like, and keep in mind, Lighthouse didn't exist in CBT 3. That's like Lighthouse is hella oppressive. Now, here's the kicker too. This is why I was telling all you guys that it, like, you have to look at the pets, and understanding the pets is going to directly allow you to understand what builds you can do. Because guess what matrix you can build with Lighthouse? Bloodbath. Like, so it literally is one of the best pets that you can use to build into Bloodbath. So off rip minimum, you're gonna have 3 matrices going into Bloodbath, and so it's absolutely insane. You said he was abusing that already. You said, what's that on your shirt? What's the button? Oh, they're Etheria Restart buttons. I don't know if I can zoom in so you can see them. Yeah, they're Etheria Restart buttons, bro. Let me see. Yeah, can you see that? Yeah, that's Messiah, and that's Dark Sania. So yeah, I was gonna wear them on my hat, but I didn't want to stab myself in the head because they're pins. So I was like, yep, I'm cool on that idea. So yeah, that's where we kind of went with that one. All right, there we go. I clicked all the wrong buttons. Yeah, so I'm trying. That's like actually what I want to do too. I'm trying to see for the release if they'll give me some merch to give away, because that merch is actually like, yo, these pins are really high quality, bro. They're really good. But what's funny is that they were giving out a ton of stuff. I actually won these. They didn't just give them to me. I won them. When the live stream happened for the release or the start of the beta, it was only like 2 of us. Or sorry, not 2 of us. That's an exaggeration. But it wasn't a lot of people in there. And I said to counteract that comp, they would have to have direct damage units or something pet wise that ignores the mitigation. That's what I was telling them, that I don't feel like a lot of stuff is going to necessarily just get nerfed. I feel like what they're going to do is they're going to create a counteraction to it, because that's essentially what they did with Lighthouse. Lighthouse is as oppressive as he is because he had to deal with you, because you're counteracting Cleave, because Cleave was so oppressive. So that's what I mean by like it's like more so that this was a problem to us, like, or this was a solution to a problem that existed in the game, and so this now it has its own like said problem. So they're probably going to release something that allows there to be some sort of counteraction between it, because yeah, otherwise it just is what it is, right? But yeah, I can see them doing that, because I 1000% get it. Otherwise people would be just going for Cleave comp. Like if this wasn't in the game, like I don't know, yeah, people would just be cleaving, because I'm not gonna lie, like it's kind of nice that that Lighthouse does give the 25%, because the problem is that like some of these comps are strong enough to damn near one tap. Like even units, like I just was telling people, one of the strongest units, one of the tankiest units that you could try to kill with a shield is Tiamat. I kid you not, I had a shield from Hellkid. I had her shield stacked, and I was in her Dragon Mother form, and I almost got cleaved completely by Hoyan. When I seen that, I said, "Oh no!" And if it wasn't for the freaking fact I had her on Bloodbath and I had Lighthouse, I probably would have died. Like, and I was just like, "Yo, that's crazy," because I'm in Dragon Mother form, stacked, like I'm scaled now, and she still almost cleaved me completely, and that's at Endgame. So I was just like, "Oh crap!" Like that's crazy. So considering that, like when you really see some of these units like fully built, like bro, Hoyan is critting almost like 60k, bro. Like that's a, like most units don't even have that amount of HP. Like that's the thing. Like I think my Tiamat at max had like 55k, like somewhere around there. Like and she still was cleaving, and because then on top of that she also has the ignore, which is like the direct damage. You said I don't think either is broken. I think we just need more variety in terms of comps. Yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, you're 1000% Levi. It is more sniping. You said but even then though, having a unit that can do that can straight break down your team. And yeah, honestly, I think that term is loosely used for both, to be honest. Yeah, it is loosely used for both. Like you can cleave with a single target unit. Because the other problem with Hoyan too is that she has extinction. So you ain't coming back from that. Like that's the other thing. So she's a direct counter to revivers, but again, it's just like it is an oppressive setup. It is like the revive. I don't think it's so oppressive though, to the point it's unfixable or unbalanceable, right? Like I think that's the thing. I think also too, like everyone is kind of in that place where they're playing against the meta. Like it's kind of what happens is like there is within the current state, there's always going to be something that exists that's better in that moment until people can actually flesh out to fully counter it properly. And I just feel like most damage builds are like a lot harder to build versus like just building tank, because even when you're looking at gear, a lot of the times you're gonna have like what would be considered terrible gear for tanks. A lot of the time is their best in slot gear, which is usually better. Like, so that's going to be easier for people to build. Like even when you're looking at the PvE progression, most of the units that are easier for people to fully build up are the HP scaling, defense scaling units. So they're just going to by default just perform a lot better in the current earlier states of the game, especially even into RTA, because a lot of people can't build a lot of stuff yet. Excuse me. So, but then you have Snipe Cleave scaling. You can balance the Trinity. You said me who's on effect res just because of PvP. Bro, effect res is actually pretty good in this game, to be honest. Yo, what's up, Cam? You said, what's this game called? It's called Etheria Restart. Yes, to me, it's easier to build DPS early game. I don't know. I feel like it's easier to build the tankier units, but I think that also is a preference point too. Because like most of my, I say the majority of my successful playthroughs have been like just building into the into those units. I don't have to go too crazy with trying to hyper fixate on like different stats. It's just the same stat value. You said it's horrible to build HP units. That's cap because Lilith is one of the top. Like literally right now, I'm like having no issues with her dying or anything, and then she still does the standard damage she does. It's all based off her HP. You said Lilith is horrible to build. I don't think that's true, to be honest. You said, wait, in terms of building PvE fully? Oh, a stacked one? Oh, okay. I can see that. Yeah, stacked, a properly built stack Lilith, I can see that. It's a little bit more into it. Yeah. Yeah. DPS, they do give you more stat values from the sets. Yeah, I can see that. But like, yeah, just for generalized progression, she's not hard to build at all. She's easy, like, because that would be basically the argument for Tiamat then. And Tiamat's kind of crazy, like, if you can even early. Yeah, tanky comps are way easier to build, like especially for progression purposes. You said you said mine is good, but I took gear for my whole account. That's fair. He said, what would be the easiest comp with SR and Leon SSR for early game? Oh, with Chiaki Leon. Honestly, you are going to probably want to build Gray. I don't know if that's who you meant to say, but Gray is going to be up there because you got to think about who Gray replaces and essentially like slotting teams, right? So Gray essentially is kind of like, for most people, would be the close for most comps, right? So he's like your, minus the fact of the turn meter gauge redistribution. He's a crit rate buffer and he's a defense breaker, AoE. So the two things he's doing, Gray is reducing your crit rate requirement. So that makes it to where at any time, realistically, like let's say you have to build a unit crit rate, crit damage, right? You only need 70% crit rate at that point. And if they have an innate, like say they get dupes and they give themselves crit rate, then you can drop it even lower, right? So I think the crit rate value for some characters that have an innate is like 8% or something like that. So depending on what you're able to roll subs is kind of a thing too. But it like anywhere from 60 to 70% is what you have to have on the character. He gives you the additional 30%. Like, and you're just kind of chilling from there. I think he also does something else he does too. There's the defense break, crit rate buff, and then where's my Gray at? Just past him, I think. Oh, it's the extra turn. So he gives himself the extra turn. So he like seamlessly does these two things, which is just kind of like technically skill 2 into skill 3. It's like one turn essentially for him. Which what actually makes him really broken is that he can basically just do these abilities, right? So that's already OP with him. I would say from out of the SRs, he's a huge one. You said I lost in PvP to a Hellkid, Tia, Celeste, and Lily. Couldn't do anything to them. That's so annoying, yo. That's that's just so much shield. You got good damage because even Hellkid's damage is just nuts. Celeste has really good debuffs. He said Gray also better use of his shell because him cycling with his skill 2 also decreases shell cooldown. It makes him shoot. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, he does decrease his shells faster. That's very true. Yeah, so he's one of the hidden gods in the game, to be honest. Like he's really broken. I'll say most people are gonna want to build him for sure. I feel like if you need a healer, you obviously have characters like Sania. You have regular Chiaki is really good as far as like value. Actually, even Chiaki the Echo is broken. And I love using her. I've used her every beta. I just feel like she's really good, especially if you have lower speed values. She just gives you direct pushes, and then she also gives you an attack up buff. So that is huge, especially if you're using specific comps, where especially if you're scaling your attack, just hitting harder. Echo is huge, man. Like she's such a huge freaking unit. And then the other thing is too is the Ave Maria also prevents your turn or your strike prep from being manipulated. So that's like just like a lot of a lot of utility that you get out of her. Literally the only other thing they could have made her do was heal or something. But she also can purify debuffs too. And so that's another thing that's like kind of crazy with her. So she purifies debuffs, push your turn meter, prevents you from having your turn meter, if you have the Ave Maria on, having it manipulated. So she's great. I'll say another one a lot of people are probably going to end up building. Valerian. Valerian's definitely one of them. 1,000%. I just haven't gotten to her yet. Valerian's definitely going to be a good one. Dorothy the Wisher is actually another one. Dorothy the Wisher is actually going to be another one. I don't think I have her on this account, but Dorothy the Wisher is going to be huge for people's accounts, bro. Like seriously, in Dorothy, I would say in terms of safety would also be one, because she's a AoE dispeller, right? So like you can technically use units like obviously Ling Lao, but we've already talked about investment, right? Like how much harder it's going to be to invest into those characters. Dorothy the Wisher is kind of broken in my opinion because she gives you life leech and she also gives you a crit rate buff, right? But then if she crits, if her ability crits, then she purifies 2 debuffs from all players. That's going to be huge, right? Like that's such a nasty ability. So you're getting HP restoration, you're getting a damage scale, and then on top of that, she can purify, which is like just huge, dude. Oh shoot, I couldn't even see that, but yo, appreciate that, fam. Yo, appreciate the sub, Crows. Appreciate that, bro. Yo, appreciate that. How are you doing today? What's going on with you, Crows? You said to be Dorothy is more of a PvP instead of PvE since we are running Gray. Well, I'm just giving people options. You don't have to run Gray, right? Like you can run whoever you want. I think that that's the thing. Like not everybody's gonna want to run Gray, even if I say run Gray, right? So it's just giving them more alternatives. I feel like she's still a great alternative for PvE. I've already tested her in PvE. She's great there. Like she's absolutely great there. I will say that once you start getting into her skill 2 for the turn meter or the turn push, that does kind of feel a little bit more PvP. Like that definitely feels a little bit more PvP, but yeah. I mean, bro, like listen, there's people that want to start the game out with Hoyan. Like I mean, like at that point, I mean, might as well just give you all the options. At that point, Kachi the Guard I think is gonna be pretty nice too. For some people too as well, because he also defense up, immunity coverage, speed down in skill 2. So these are like some pretty nice slot filling abilities that you can have for lower investment versus like telling a person like just invest in full send your Ling Lao. It's like, well, you still have these other units that you can make do with that work really well. I wish Kazuyo the Rivera was more useful, but no. Speed clear comps, I'm definitely gonna say Kazami is gonna be nice until people can really get their pets where they want them to, because she's a cooldown reducer. Obel's huge, I feel like, for progression. He's actually really nice. CC, DOT's great in the game. He has a Dispel Convert. Yeah, regular Kazami is amazing. I like when I was using her the last beta when I didn't have all my and she's such a good filter because especially like until you're able to get some of your units cooldowns down, she's great. You said I play the roles, not the element, unless it aggressively counters to me. Pretty much nothing stopped me in the game. It seems actually the stronger tactic. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, you don't really start getting element countered really as much until you start trying to do Cataclysm. Like Cataclysm is where you get elemental countered the most. To be honest, because like that 100% damage, that on top of everything else is kind of annoying. You said I should have tried her this CBT. I did. I tried her on my other account. I just didn't try her on this one. You said you get elements countered on day 2 in Nightmare. Come on, that's not necessarily true because I'm gonna be real. I still use Obel on. I was using Obel on freaking whatchamacallit. What's it called? Terra Matan, and he's hella weak here. Like according to his attribute, I was still using him for DOT here for a minute. So yeah, I still use him here. The thing is that like the elemental counter, like it is a thing, but if you can easily prevent or like counter it. Like you can like say for example, give a pet that gives somebody shield when their HP values drop, so then they just don't die as fast. Like I haven't even been running a healer on this account either. But when you get to Cataclysm, it's so much damage that you can't counter it. Like you're getting punished. Like you literally can't, like, you're getting punished beyond imagination. Like, you're not taking an extra 100% damage on top of the elemental disadvantage that you already have. So that's just kind of that. You said, so you cannot use an effective element in Cataclysm. It's literally impossible. They drop dead in the boss if the boss looks at them. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, once you get into like Inferno, you definitely start to feel it a lot more here. But yeah, like, even in whatchamacallit, in Doki Doki, bro, like, even working up, I was using freaking Fangus. So it's like, I was using Fangus in here, bro, just because he did DOT. Like, like, I just be testing stuff out just to see like what I could do, and I was using him in here for no reason, but I just wanted to see, like, can he do it? And he actually got me a couple of clears, at least especially for my first clears, to try to push up. But yeah, that's just how it is. I feel like, again, Cataclysm is like no joke. I would say Inferno, Cataclysm, yeah, you start really getting punished for trying to be different. Like, you're getting punished for trying to be different, bro. You said, watch, I'm gonna do Kata with Doki today. Oh, you're doing Doki Doki on which one though? You said, check the team that I used on the Roar Cataclysm. It was a pain for run manual, 20 minutes. Bro, I'm not gonna cap. Yo, I'm not doing nothing that's gonna take me 20 minutes, dog. Yo, no, we seen that. Yo, we seen this earlier. I actually gave you kudos because I was like, bruh, that's fucking crazy. You were able to actually do it with a 5-star team, which had me rolling. But I was just like, yo, I'm not using 20 minutes on nothing. I'm like, yo, if I can't beat it in 4 minutes, bruh, minimum. I'm out of there. You said, yeah, it was painful. Yeah, bro, 20 minutes in a fight is crazy, dog. Like, that's crazy. But we were just talking about that. My old game that I used to play, and the tower floors that we would do, we would be fighting one boss floor or like one wave of enemies for 50 minutes. Like, that was just the norm. And it was a monthly rotation fight, but every single month when we would do it, we would have that one fight where we literally have to fight the fight for 50 minutes, bro. I was like, absolutely not. Like, they ended up changing it, but like, I remember that, and I just got PTSD from anything that's above anything that's above 10 minutes, bro. He said them shields going crazy, bro. Exactly. He got shields, he HP balancing, he over there immunity covering, he damage stacking, he's speeding up the team so they rotating faster the longer they're in the fight. It's mad gimmicks happening in this one team, yo. Like, it's so much happening in this one team, bro. You said I used the invincibility on Veronica. Didn't you use Veronica S3 to give invincibility to everyone? Yo, that's smart. He said then extended the invincibility with the healer. Oh, that's right, because what's her face can extend buffs. And it was still so hard to survive. I'm not gonna lie, that's impressive. But like, even despite it took you 20 minutes, that's still really impressive, and it's outside the box thinking, because you technically did this with one 6-star and everybody else is a 4-star, which, if we're talking about the potential base stat scaling that you're missing, realistically, you basically did this difficulty in Elden Ring mode, basically. Like, that's basically what you did. You said, what is that level 2 doing in that comp? Bruh, I don't know who is trolling with this, but you know, it's okay. Because I'm pretty sure what Viper was doing, only thing I could think of him doing is clearing buffs. That's the only thing I could think of him doing. I don't think he was doing any damage for real, because he's not scaled enough to do that. So I'm like, he has to. Yeah, he has effect accuracy at 80 something percent. Yeah, he was clearing buffs, bro. Like, that's what he was doing in there. And even then, his scaling isn't that crazy, because that's a 5-star at level 2. He's that prop from crits. Oh, you know what though? You know what he was there for? He reduces damage. I forgot about that. He actually reduces crit damage. He reduces damage from crits. That's why Viper's there. Cause hold on, yeah, Viper is another unit. Like, I really wanted to build him on this account. I actually really like Viper a lot, bro. And I used him in the tourney, and he went crazy for me. I actually won a couple of matches with Viper. Let me see, where's it at? I think it's the silence. What the hell is it? Oh yeah, so reduces damage taken by allies from critical hits, and then he has a chance to counter when they're hit. Yeah, so yeah, Viper's huge. He's definitely a character I think that's underrated. Like a lot of people look at him as like, oh, I don't know about that, but like, nah, this dude with an attack up and speed down debuff, and then he can also dispel buffs too. He's nasty. And the thing is like, I don't think people actually realize how often Viper can proc. Like, I'm talking about like, if he's in the right setup, bro, and in the right situation, he will literally S3 like every other turn damn near. Like, it's literally insane. Like, this man procs a lot. So even the skill 3 having a 4 turn, like, or I think like once you get it down to max, I think it's like 3 turn cooldown, it doesn't really matter. Like it doesn't matter because he's using it. Like it's an auto proc, so he's crazy. Yo, what's good, Crows? How you doing, fam? You say he consistent with strips, S3 and passive and boss buff immunity. Non-stop. He's a good pick in Aurora. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, he's nasty. He's nasty, dude. And he's also like one of the very few AoE buff strippers in the game. So for PvP, he was like my only real go-to. I could really think of, because even the attributes that were like really impressive with their buffs, Beotin, Hell Kid, he has a much easier time stripping them because he's not getting hit with the 50% effect accuracy debuff. So yeah, he's good. And that's why I also wanted to kind of build Sutomo up too, because I wanted to test him. Actually, I'm going to test him. That's probably what we'll do. I think that would be cool. I think that would be a cool stream. If I can remember to, and if I have time to. We'll see what my schedule's looking like tomorrow. But if I have time, I'll try to do a stream on the other account, and we can test out some comps, bro. We might be able to do that. You say, is this game fun to play? Bro, this game is amazing. It's really well done. There's obviously, like, you know, with all games, there's the kinks they got to work out, but they're all things that they can fix. Like, it's not like this, like, oh man, this is just gonna ruin the game, it's unfixable. It's like, no, it's all fixable stuff. The dev team's been really responsive. They're already implementing changes into the game. You said I was gonna say not much time left. I'm wrapping things up on account level 50. Yeah, I decided like I was gonna chill because I know when, like, after the beta, I'm probably gonna be going into localization with the team. So I'm probably gonna have to redo all this stuff anyway, because it's like, that's why I'm like, am I really gonna kill myself right now to get to level 50? Probably not. Like, that's why I've been chilling. Like, I just like kind of been playing it passively. And then like to do it, I'm like kind of making sure, testing out some stuff on the other account too. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to go through the whole game again from beginning to end, just to see like that progressive nature of the game. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna implement some balances and changes, because they're not afraid of doing that. That's for sure. Like, you guys, especially now that there's more attention on the game, you guys will see how they actually treat the game, because they've been like, the team's been like this from the very beginning. Like, every beta, the units have progressively changed, whether it's been the way they look, the way their kits work, adding more value to their kit. I think Gray even, like, Gray was good, but I don't think he was as good as he is now. Like, CBT 3 was definitely when we realized like they made him really good, and he felt really nice in CBT 3. So they kind of just made a really good unit at that point. Obu, CBT 2, Obu was okay. I think Obu actually got better. I think Obu got buffed. I'm pretty sure. Because I don't remember him actually even really being a thought. But yeah, Obu was actually like nice now. Trying to think who else was like kind of like whatever. I think Leon definitely got some stuff adjusted in her kit too, because she wasn't able to rotate nearly as well as she does, and I think her damage was pretty low. So yeah, they actually buffed her too, and so from CBT 3 on, she's been pretty solid. You said how is the best unit in the game? Yo, chat, who do you guys think is the best unit in the game? I'm just interested to see what you guys' conclusion is, because I know who the best unit in the game is, but I'm just interested to see what you guys think. Who's Lily? Oh, okay, Dini went with Lily. Okay. Heinrich? Damn, Lily? Said, and I don't even have her. Hoyanman Philly built. I'm not gonna lie. Chiaki the Echo because of violin murders. Yo, I'm dead. You said Lily. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I think personally, in the current climate of this game, Lily is one of the best, if not the best unit in the game. Lily is just nuts, bro. Like, and I think the thing about Lily is she kind of has a little bit of everything. Like, I think even over Doki Doki, which is one of the areas Doki Doki suffers in, is Doki Doki directly herself can't do damage, right? Like, she doesn't really have a lot of damage to offer your comp. She enables your comps really well, but she doesn't offer any damage for herself personally. Lily can still do damage with all the shit she does. Like, that's the crazy part about her and the utility that she offers, is that she still is doing damage herself. And she's oppressive. Like, very, very oppressive. So, like, when you start then making combinations and stuff, like, it's just way too much to deal with her. Her with anyone else is just mad annoying, especially if it's a unit that she's able to really amplify. So, skill 1, you have the strike prep push. You have the twin trick, which is another set of strike prep push. And then on top of that, there's also the chance to assist. So that at max skilled is 100%. So whoever she decides to give that twin trick to, let's say it's the Heinrich combo, it's annoying. Like, you got to deal with that, right? Like, and Heinrich hitting you isn't fun because he hits hard. And I think also in Heinrich's skill 1, which that's gonna force, I'm pretty sure is that his anti-heal. Yeah, oh no, that's a skill block. That's even worse. That's even worse. So force procking a skill 1 from a Heinrich is not fun, because yeah, you can go from chilling to not chilling. Well, at least if you're the opposing person. But if you're using them, it's great. But yeah, that could not be fun. So yeah, force procking that, not fun. But the skill 2, bro, kind of crazy. You have the twin trick, where she's able to apply that. She has the 2-turn speed up buff to all allies. And then if they already have the twin trick, they get a crit damage buff, and then immediately gets to go again. So on top of that, she then has the AoE ability that she does, which still does damage. Then she has a 65% chance to extend all cooldowns by 1 turn, immediately resets all skill cooldowns of allies with twin trick. And this ability doesn't, it can't have its cooldowns reduced. But the thing about this ability is that basically what you're getting is, essentially with the twin trick proc in combination or in conjunction to it, you're getting the turn meter push. That character's also getting cooldowns. That character's also assisting. That character's also getting a crit damage buff. That character's like there's so much stuff packed into that one ability, and her whole kit funnels into that one ability. Like, it's so annoying, dude. So then when you start pairing Lily, like, don't let there be like, yo, I'm telling you right now, if you ever, and I had to fight this comp in the tournament, by the way, it was hard to fight too. If you ever end up in a situation, which it would be like, no, you just don't want to end up in a situation where there's a Lily and a Doki Doki on the same team, you might as well just leave, bro. Like, if they're built, oh, you might as well just leave. Because they are going to ensure you do almost nothing. Because Doki Doki ain't any better, though. Like, Doki Doki doesn't offer any damage, but Doki Doki's not any better because her proc, unlike Lily's, can remove all debuffs. That shit is insanely ridiculous when countering debuff oriented teams. Like, that is so annoying. And I'm like, the fact it removes all debuffs is what makes it so ridiculous. So that on top of the speed up buff, or the innate speed, or 2.5% that she keeps stacking, I think it's just like, and then she literally gives more damage on top of that. Like, no, I don't want to fight them. Like, no, that's not fun. You said it's the Doki Literature Club. Bro, it literally is, though. Yeah, I think they're literally all Doki, they're from the Doki faction, bro. Hold on, where does it show it at? I know it shows it somewhere. Oh, wait, it's the book. Hold on. Nope, wrong one. It's this one, I think. Yeah, so she's in the Doki Entertainment faction. Obviously, Doki Doki is the face of the Doki. Entertainment faction. Like their faction is ridiculous, bro. They're they're mad annoying. You said I would go with Lily, Tia, and Hoyan in that order. But still, if I'm starting, I'm still picking Tia because she's a paladin. Paladins always solo game. Yo, she's fun to use too. I like Tia. Tia's progression also feels pretty nice too. She's not bad. She's really not bad at all. And she's great obviously in PvP too. He says Messiah a good unit. I think he is. I think he is. I just think that with Messiah is an interesting unit to me because I feel like Messiah needs confirmed kills. Like that's really where you start kind of seeing Messiah really pop off. Because if he's not killing anything, like I mean, like you can kind of use any damage dealer at that point, right? Like he does have the 50% defense ignore, which can be nice. But that like him consistently killing just makes him invincible, literally. Like that, like if he can keep killing stuff, he just doesn't die. And I would say like for me, he just seems more of like a unit that like you can use him in some PvE stuff, but I feel like he definitely feels more of like PvP. He definitely feels more PvP, at least until the point of like you actually getting him on a really good build. In-game Messiah is not the same as like an early game Messiah, by the way. Like a in-game Messiah is straight up cleaving like anything, but early game Messiah is really rough to build. Like I can't really justify it. Like they changed them a lot from CBT 2 to CBT 3 because Messiah in CBT 2 was a PvE and a PvP god. Like he was actually, so just like how we have the growing pains with like dealing with the current meta we have now, Messiah was the problematic unit. Like I mean, I think he was the strongest unit actually in the game. And that was over Doki Doki and Lily and all those units. Like he was just a problem. It didn't matter what buffs, what you was doing. If you had Messiah, you were winning. Like his invincibility was more impressive as well too. He got it more often. So you could strip his invincibility and he would just give it right back to himself. So that's what some people were doing. And so like they had to adjust them to make it more about getting confirmed kills versus him just being able to do it. So yeah, it's definitely not the same Messiah we had, but he's still solid. I just feel like he's an invest character. It's that I once did play against Doki RTA with Kraken and Heinrich. Heinrich blocked Kraken freeze and her skill 3 did literally nothing. So it was so funny to see her 8 times buffing same unit and nothing happens. Oh, so they were they were overstacked then, Levi? You said it said, hello, good afternoon. I don't understand English very well. I sent you some photos on Discord and I'd like to know if you could tell me what I can improve. Oh yeah, no, for sure. What language do you speak, by the way, if you don't mind me asking? Wait, did you send them on message? I don't see a DM. Yeah, where did you tag me at? Was it on my community in the Discord? I'm assuming you speak Spanish. I'm assuming it's Spanish. Damn, that's the one language I don't know. Man, I was gonna try to help a brother out, but you know, I'm assuming it's Spanish. Said if block is on the unit, she can't cleanse them because her buff cleanses the unit and free. Oh, you're talking about on the opposing team. I thought you were talking about you using them in the overstacking. I read that completely wrong. Yeah, yeah. It's a counter, but that's what I was saying before is that there's counters to every unit in the game, right? Like, yeah, Heinrich being one of them. Yeah, Heinrich being one of them. But yeah, as far as like, even I just glanced at your what's it called? Your Heinrich, for example, he needs more crit rate and crit damage. Yeah, like, because even if you applied the 30%, you still would be short. And then the crit damage is low for him. He needs crit rate, crit damage. For sure. That man's supposed to hit hard. Close, you have a good amount of effect accuracy. She needs more speed. That's about it. That's only really gonna come from like pet and like speed rolling subs. So this like, because close is intended to be an opener. So if you use close, she needs to be fast. 95 speed. I don't think it's gonna cut it. I don't think that's enough. Yeah, so she just needs more speed, really. And then Doki Doki. I guess Strive on her is fine. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Like, I don't want to give you too many suggestions because, like, realistically, you're not going to be able to build any of this stuff. Like, you got, like, a day. like, and they're wiping it all. So you got to go crazy and build this stuff and it'll be like, wipe. You said besides Gear Hungry, he didn't feel good until I got Red Gear. Yeah. He said, does the game have an official release date? No. So are they going to reset before release? Yeah, this is getting reset. They're not going to let players just be super like strong ahead of everybody because it's a PvP oriented game. So they're waiting to release the game at that point for everybody to be at the same place and start at the same place, which is healthy for the game. It sucks sometimes when you start a game and like either a pre-existing server like CN or like JPRE's been around for a year, and or if like there's a test server or early access server, usually what they're called, there's been an early access server for a year, and so when you get on the game, you gotta like worry about at some point being integrated into a server with those dudes, because like Dislike did that. For example, they integrated us with the global launch server because we had an early access server, and this is why I'm saying like it just doesn't work, because I've like had experience where I played Dislike for a whole year on an early access server before the game actually released. And when they actually released the game and they finally decided to integrate us, bro, we were clapping the global release server so hard. Like I was like, yo, I don't know why they did that. Like there was no way they could have integrated that, even if they were to give them catch up mechanics. The problem was that the game had something, and this is like something people that are probably used to coding might be familiar with, but the original state of the game in the early access, we had our gear rolls were different. So we had higher valued rolled gear, but a lesser quantity of it. So like if you got a like say a high piece of gear or a high rarity piece of gear, it was a extremely broken piece of gear. Like it rolled really well. Like I'm talking about like highest speed rolls you could possibly get, stuff like that. When they released the game for global, they went in and they changed the drops in the coding, I guess, for the quality of the pieces. So we had a higher quantity of gear, but the quality of the pieces was much lower. So the year one people that had farmed that whole year, when we had uncapped stamina, we had what the hell else did we have? Yeah, we had uncapped stamina. We had obviously the higher quality of gear. So those accounts coming from global just were not able to compete with us at all, because we had gear pieces like max road, penta road, speed subs on pieces. Like, I'm like, and they're not even getting those types of pieces, and it was just like insane. It was absolutely insane. So a lot of those players just weren't really able to have fun in those game modes because they couldn't compete with us. You said I didn't get any. He said I didn't get any quality gear that first year. Bro, honestly, the first year was nuts. We had uncapped stamina, bro. Like, uncapped stamina was crazy. He said King Arthur Legends Rise didn't do a wipe after beta. They did wipe the first one, and then the second one that they ran didn't run that long. It was actually a release of Canada, and then they did a global release. So they're not even the same, the two same servers. They're completely two separate servers. But yeah, it wasn't like it was around for like, I think it like might have been a few weeks in between the two versions. So it wasn't that bad, versus like I've been playing for a whole year and then they decide to release global. That's like a huge difference in progression and unit investment. Like like I quit Dislike. I guarantee you right now, if I was to get into my account, I still could get every brand new unit that's come out since I've quit and 6-star them all and max seal them all out. Like that's how much okay, to paint this picture, I grinded so much in early access that when the game officially came out, I didn't actually have to farm any resources to 6-star anything anymore. I did not have to farm any resources to skill up stuff anymore. I would just go in and do the standard content, whatever new event was up. That's all I had to do. I didn't have to do anything. That was like my main account, literally. Like that was that. You said I was wondering how to build Tiamat. Let me see. Let me see what my build is, because I forgot what what was the other set outside of Bloodbath I went with for her. You said there are 2 R units that cannot be gotten outside of their unique shard boxes. Wait, which ones? Wait, in what game? You talking about Dislike Crazy? You said no one played the CA server. I still have that account. And King Arthur, that server is dead. But then again, Global is dead now too. So there's that. Bro, it's so bad, bro. It's so bad. Because, like, honestly, yeah. I mean, like, that was another thing. Like, I don't think that anyone really wanted to play that, because they knew also the global version was coming. So it didn't make sense for them to start on Canada if they weren't over there. And they were telling them that the official release was happening too. So a lot of people just actually waited. Yeah, so that actually did happen too. Hold on, let me see. As far as Tiamat goes though, like early game, you're just trying to build Tiamat tanky. She needs to have as much HP as you can possibly give her. Because like once you get into like late game, I'm trying to remember what the name of the sets are. Where are they at? Tiamat works, obviously. Wellspring is going to be a pretty nice one for her. Evo Guard is actually not bad on her. Bloodbath is really good. You could mix in things like Colossal Guard. It just all kind of depends on what you prefer and what pet you're going with. But Bloodbath is definitely a really big one. Yeah, Bloodbath is really big for her. Wellspring is like just a generalized go-to. Because she does heal herself, so that's why she's able to make use of Evo Guard technically, and then the effect res is just nice, so you can't really, it makes it just harder to debuff her. Has anybody tried Bramble on their Tiamat? I haven't tried Bramble yet, because I think what is her skill 1's what, taunt? Yeah, I haven't really tried that. I just kind of bank on tankiness and AoE taunt and shield at that point. You said Dislike, there's a new unit in the you said I did, it's man. Oh, so count, you ain't really like counter? Okay. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. He said King Arthur was the biggest letdown of 2024. Bro, I don't know. I'm glad you said it, Nix. I'm glad you said it. You said it and not me, because whenever I say stuff like that, I'm just hating. You're just a hater. It's like, well, bro, I was hyped for it, bro. I even had like a whole I even had like videos like prepping preemptively to start making content on that game, man. Like, and they just, I don't know what they were doing with it. Like, he said, yo, what's good, try hard? How you doing, bro? You said, hey, lucky guy, how you doing? Yo, I've been good, man. Can't complain. You said, what pet would you recommend for Doki Doki? I feel that it's not very strong, and its speed is a little slow. Wait. So for Doki Doki, I'm trying to think of what I ran on her. Yeah, I'm blanking on character names. I know, I think Gigabyte was one I was using quite a bit on her. I think it was Gigabyte. Yeah, so for every 3 actions accumulated by enemies, she gets a strike prep push of 35%. So I was using that. I think I was on a Strive Swift Rush build I was doing with her. And then another one I would say I use quite a bit at this point is Alicorn. Because Alicorn, so this is like the thing you have to kind of decide, right? It's like, you're going to have to, like, either you make the units in the comp support it, or you have to make sure the unit has something to support it with removing debuffs, right? So like obviously you can bring a unit that can cleanse, but that might not always be the case when you're doing like, say, things like draft pick, right? So having units like this, like I fought a guy, like actually, not even, I kid you not, this, like, and I'm probably gonna do another tier list about this because I did a generalized one, but I fought a dude in the tournament. This is what was his name? Oh my god, why can't I'm blanking on his name? But either way, fought this dude in the tournament, bro. And this man had Alicorn on every single unit in his team. He completely mitigated my entire setup, like just straight up. Like I was just like, yo, like dude had alicorn on every unit he knew I was gonna target. Every unit he knew I was gonna try to CC, he had alicorn on, and it not only killed my CC, but it also killed my DOT. So I was just like, yo, I was like, bro, who like I wouldn't have thought of doing that for my whole lineup, because I usually try to put it on at least one. Like, okay, I need this unit to do this. But he had it on every single unit. He was like, I'm not getting debuff, basically. And I was just like, yo, like, and so like you're trying to like prioritize, say, like pushing turns or like X thing. And it's like sometimes the best thing to do is just to make sure that you don't have nothing sticking to you. And that got me cooked. Like I literally couldn't do anything to him, because then he put it on a unit that also can give him immunity. So he had like alicorn on Ling Lao. He had alicorn on his Hell Kid. He had alicorn on, who the hell else was he using? I think he was using Hoyan and then somebody else. So it was like basically he was guaranteeing that no matter like whatever nonsense I did, he was going to guarantee that he was going to get his stuff off either way. And then because he also got the HP restoration, kind of gave him a little bit more survivability. And so when he rotated into his turns, he goes off with the Ling Lao immunity heal, massive heal. Then the Hell Kid with the shield immunity stack. There really wasn't anything I could do at that point. Like it was crazy, but it was just like the application sometimes. Like it really honestly depends on what you're doing. Even in some content, you might have to run a purifying pet over something else, because that unit you can't have them get stunned, right? So purifying pets, I think like for like alicorn or any of the ones that you're going to get working up are just going to be good, because there are like I think doing things like, I think it's Doki Doki, I think, or Terramatan. It's one of the two. You just randomly get stunned. It might be Aurora. I can't remember which one. But one of those, you are going to need a Purify pet for on the character that's doing like something for you. Like if it's like, say the character pushing your team, or and I think the way that stun usually tracks or aggros is the person with maybe the lowest HP value. So there's that. It's a problem of alicorn is the 4-turn cooldown. Yeah, but I mean, realistically, you shouldn't be trying to be in a fight that long anyway. That's why I said, like, hey, if you try to push the dudes that's doing the 20-minute clear, like, hey, more power to you, bro. I'm not trying to be in a fight that long. So the thing is like, with most, like, especially with, like, what's interesting too is that they kind of put a barrier in between us from being able to clear, go straight into like a Sarde, for example. But like with her, I was doing that in like 40 something seconds, like, right? Like DOT, I only needed one cleanse. I didn't need multiple cleanses, right? So I guess it all depends on your comp too. And the nice thing is too, is it doesn't have to be directly at alicorn. It could be a much lower unit. Like for example, on this account, I know that that's a high investment, right? So I was using on my before I got the alicorn swap, I was using the heck is his name? Oh, Mermaid Princess. I was like, this wasn't like, had nothing to do with set bonus, stats, none of that. I just need the debuffs gone. So you could just use something like that, and it's an easy investment. It's gonna literally do the same job. Like, and it's just for the cleanse. That's it. Yeah, for PvP, I don't know, man. Okay, so the problem with that is that like in stall comps, that's why alicorn can work, is because in stall comps, it's about to take 25 minutes anyway. so I mean, it's like, it doesn't matter that it restores in 4 turns, not necessarily, because on average most characters aren't getting their skills back or rotating them back until like maybe 2 to 3. So you're still left with like maybe another turn or 2 before you can actually use yours. So but at that point though, depending on, and that's why I said it works in conjunction with what units do, because if you're already stacking immunity at that point, right? Like now you don't need to use the purifying pet, because you already now have immunity on your team. Or if you're like rotating a Hell Kid, you got immunity built into the shield. So there's no real need now for you to do that. So I think it just depends on composition, really. He said the guy knows you have it, you can counter it. Yeah, I mean, but then again, like if we're being honest, like is the average player going to be paying attention to that? Probably not. I'm gonna be real with you, like it's just not. Like, and that's so I did a video recently with Sean B, and we were kind of talking about that. It's like the players that are going to pay attention to that stuff is going to be like the players like me and you, right? Like, because I'm looking, like when I'm looking at somebody's unit, I'm not even looking at the unit because I already know what the unit can do. I'm looking at what pet they have. Like that's what I'm looking at. Like I'm like, oh shit, like what pet they have, because in my head I'm like, okay, that can tell me potentially what set they're running. That can tell me obviously what ability they're gonna have in conjunction to the character's kit. But the average player isn't gonna really be like looking at that. Like they're gonna be like, oh, this is what the unit does. So that's just kind of like most players aren't even thinking like that. Like they just aren't. But obviously like somebody like me or you, we're gonna be like looking at those things, because in my head I'm like, oh nah, I can't run into, even despite the element, like I could like say like, oh, I have this attribute advantage, but I can't run that because they're running this pet, because that's gonna mitigate my kit, like, you know. So it's like those little nuances. You said, thinking about in-game PvP stuff, we know everyone's build. It said casuals would get wrecked by the pets. That's why I'm not sure if there's anything they'll do to like maybe simplify that process, because yeah, it is gonna be, yo, you said furry heaven. Yo, what's good, Psycho? How you doing, fam? You said, when does this game release? There's no official date yet, fam. There's no date yet, bro. I wish it was. Bro, we gotta start streaming WoA in a second. But yeah, yeah, bro. Yeah, there's no set date yet, bro. There's no set date, man. So just need to make the pets bigger. That's literally the number one thing Sean was saying. He was like, he couldn't see the pets, so it's like hard to tell. But yeah. Pets are gonna be huge, bro. As far as like you being able to counteract them, I don't like, and that's the thing why like it's gonna be interesting, because like when you're in a PvP match, there's not really much you could do other than having other alternatives. So you're just gonna have like two options to be able to like draft if you see like a specific pet option. But that's just gonna be a long-term thing, because initially whatever pet you have, typically that's just gonna be the pet you use. You said they might have to add different bars to the pets to RTA pick in ban phase, so we don't have to squint pets. Yeah, fair. Yo, what's good, Blast? How you doing, bro? You said hopefully my favorite Selence gets get a buff. You think Selence needs a buff? What would you like to see buffed on her? I'm interested to know. You said I'm not gonna have glasses just to see pets on the screen. Nah, for real. You said when game launch, there is no official date, Koba. And there's no official date yet, fam. There's no official date. Yo, Daniel says Selence is horrible. Hey, I mean, I don't know. Like maybe an early game. I get maybe early mid game, because she, like, at least for PvP, she's pretty good. She's pretty good for PvP. Early game PvP, mid game PvP, I can't really speak to, but in game PvP, she's actually pretty nice. Yeah. You said, yeah, I don't want to face her. She's horrible. You said poor Zox must be so tired of answering that. No, honestly, it's fine. I mean, like, it's the number one question people are gonna ask. Honestly, I'd rather answer it versus like somebody going in game and answering it, because they're gonna get trolled really hard. Like right now, people are trolling so hard because they've seen the question so many times, so they're trolling really hard in the official or in the game. You said they need to buff her a lot, but that's why I just asked. What does she need buffed? That's what I want to know. It's off topic. How long is WoW's story new one? I don't know. I'm like kind of sort of playing it right now. I don't know how long it is. I don't think it's crazy though, because you can skip all of it. He said passive is mid, so need a boost in S3 and S1. So what is it? That's the she heals the or gives the shield, right? In the passive. So was that 12% at max of her max HP to allies, lasting until the start of the next turn? And doesn't this apply every turn? You said I need her damage reflect to scale higher. So like, cause that's what I was about to say. I'm like, yo, it's kind of low key a damage reflect in this joint, yo. Like, if this scale higher, this might be scary, yo. Cause what the rain curtain absorbs damage, reflects 75% to absorb damage. Problem is though, so my thing is can't you just over damage the shield then? It said so crit rate, attack down in the skill 3, and then you have the Oblivion. I feel like the one thing they could do with the skill 1, I don't think necessarily just needs a buff. Maybe they could even give it, because it's a 40% chance of randomly inflicting 2 of the following buffs. So I would take Dot out. Yo, I would be honest. I just like, I don't like, I mean, like, sure, Dot's cool, but like, bro, just give me the Silence and the Oblivion. Just let it be those 2 buffs. It's already at a 40% chance, which is actually pretty low compared to a lot of chances. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I do agree with that. Like, that's really low. Like, just take Dot out and just let it be Silence and Oblivion. Like, that right there is kind of, that would be fire. I'm not gonna lie. Silence and Oblivion together. Good luck. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. You said, do you still play Parade? Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, I definitely do. I actually when I swap over to Twitch, I'll show you guys my Jujutsu Kaisen account so you can see where I'm at. You said it should be 100% Silence or Oblivion minimum. I think that's fair because it's single target. But then I feel like what that would do is that would push people to build the counter sets a lot. Like, I feel like at that point you definitely would want to have her on like a Bramble or like a I forgot what the other set is that pushes it's off of attacks. It gives you a chance to follow up off of attacks or something like that. Or when you use an attack skill. I forgot what that set is, but you know exactly what set I'm talking about. That would definitely push her to those sets. And then I honestly think her skill 3 is okay because realistically the skill 3, attack down, crit rate down, that's a, I guess that kind of does counteract some of the setups with like Lily or that you might see with like a Heinrich. The attack down, I guess, is nice for going up against cleavers, but yeah, I mean, they could tweak that too, but it's also 4 hits. And so you have a 30% chance with each to inflict 2 turns of attack down. Yeah, 30% chances. Yeah, 30% chance is low, but 4 hits is also a lot. AoE 4 hits is quite a bit, but let me see actually, because I want to see what the homie is, because if he's way higher than hers, I know he's higher, but I just don't know what his percentage is. Since he does 3 at 8. Okay. God damn. How you gonna give Obel 75% chance? Yo, how you gonna give him 75% chance on a 3 hit, yo? They probably, I would say a sweet spot for her skill, because that is a pretty good, that is a really good debuff. I would say 50%. 50% would be nice for the extra hit, because yeah, 50% would be nice for the extra hit. I would say anywhere from 50% I think would be at most. Like for 4 hits, AoE, 50% would be nice. I feel like, because yeah, Obel being on 3 hit and having a 75% chance to land, that shit lands 95% of the time. You saw I faced someone with Bramble and she countered me with Silence almost every time. That was a nightmare. It's RNG, but super scary. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that would definitely make her way more oppressive. Like she would be because that's what I had to deal with in the tournament. That's what I'm saying. Like I can't really say she's bad, because she was annoying to fight in the tournament. Like she was definitely a problem unit. Like she really was. But I can also see like the randomness sometimes could definitely cook you. But I also, like, by design could be a thing they were trying to intentionally do. But I also feel like then there's definitely more parameters of RNG we would need for characters' kits, because there are some characters that just have more direct oppressiveness, like, I guess. But yeah, for her, I could see that being something that they could tweak for sure. You said 30% stun is a lot better than mid debuffs. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's the thing too, is like, I don't know. It's like they gotta try to find that balance. That's why I feel like a lot of units are getting adjusted, bro. I don't think units are staying the same by no means, because oval, like certain units are oppressive. They just are. Like what they do is oppressive. So yeah, 75% chance to dot, and there's a 20% chance to stun on top of that is just like, yeah, I mean, they're like units are getting touched. I feel like going into the next like whatever release or whatever we have, like units are definitely getting adjusted. Unless like there's something like that makes them really hard to build. I feel like if they're really easy to build and they just kind of have that innate value, they might adjust them. I don't know. You said, yeah, but that dot on Silence is so random. That's my thing. I don't think that dot is, the dot just doesn't make sense for her. Cause it's like, I would like, you wouldn't even really intentionally use her on the dot team. Like I would literally just put, I would literally rather use Fangus or Ashu even. I would rather just use Ashu at that point. Because even Ashu, his dot has a 60% chance to like, and it's guaranteed. Like I'd rather use Ashu at that point. Like he has a speed down into skill 1. Like these are like actually like super valuable even in PvE. He said maybe have Celeste do a 40% chance on each debuff on the skill 1. That could also work too. But see, that's the other thing too, is like I gotta see what the actual math is on like their scalings, because that was kind of like in Dislight, bro. We had like at one, like our counter set at one point was at 35%, and 35% in that game was like almost 100%. Like swear, like it was insane. They had the nerf counter, I think, all the way down to 20%. I think it was, because it was just ridiculous. Like it was like almost, it was guaranteed to proc. So it was guaranteed to proc. So I think like that's another thing too, is like realistically how often does like can a Bramble proc with that chance? You said 100% dot, 60% silence, 30% oblivion, for example. Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. So like as far as like, okay, instead of just, yeah, okay. That could be quite nice. Yeah, 30% on the oblivion would actually be like kind of healthy. I think it's that's the numbers really. Yeah, because silence is actually still not bad, because you still get you still get to use your skill 1, but that oblivion, yo, that oblivion can cook you. You said silence could cook you too though. You said any recommendations for a single target damage dealer? Oh, okay, I had to think about what double D meant. Yeah, Oblivion can't be too high. Yeah, because cooking passives is just way too strong. Like that actually cooked me in the tournament one fight. Like my passives just got cooked. I couldn't do anything. But as far as single target damage dealer, shit. Just a single target. I'm trying to think who's like cracked. That's not PvP. What is this for? You're trying to use for what? For you said my guy thinking about double D. Bro, hey, listen. Hey, sometimes y'all be coming in here and asking certain questions. I gotta proofread. Single target though? Why do I feel like every damage dealer I'm thinking of is AoE? Messiah, AoE, Heinrich, AoE. Hellkid technically is a nuker shielder, and he's AoE. Rahu, AoE. Like I think it's like Hoyan, but then again, like I guess Hoyan really, but I was like, she's also kind of situational in the sense like she needs to be in a setup to where she's able to get kills off. If she can't, then she doesn't really amp. So I mean, yeah, Hoyan would be one. Yeah, Leon is actually kind of like one of those like converter units, because like she operates better, like she operates like according to whatever quantity she's up against. So like she can AoE really well, which makes her rotate better. But then with her skill 2, that's nasty on like one target. Like that is absolutely insane on one target. Like you could just straight up delete somebody with like going skill 3 or skill 3 into a skill 2. So you can just absolutely delete somebody. You said, have I tried infield? No, I didn't try to get into the beta or anything like that. I did play the tech test before, but I didn't feel like I was gonna have time, so that's why I didn't do it. Oh, Dating, you're right. Dating is crazy, bro. I've been testing some max damage with Dating. I might show you guys that next stream. but I've been testing some max damage out with the Ting. This mofo hits so hard, yo. And the crazy thing is that the Ting also has the erosion, I think, ability or vulnerability, I think, in his kit too. So he can scale his damage. His single target damage is nuts. Like, his single target damage is actually kind of crazy. I think another dude that actually does pretty solid single target damage, and I was fairly surprised by him, is actually Sutomo. Sutomo actually does pretty solid single target damage. I was actually kind of impressed with it. He has some other utilities, but he's not bad. Yeah, he's not bad at all. He has a anti-heal and block, so he's like, I guess he's basically the baby version of Heinrich. Like, literally the single target version of Heinrich, essentially. He can buff still in the skill too, so he's not bad. Yeah, if my guy got a 45% chance to buff still, yeah, Solence might need a little bit of a revisit. I'm really interested in Sutomo purple with the loss. Bro, I used him in the tournament. I almost killed a freaking hell kit with him, and he's attribute disadvantage. So that was like the thing. Like, I threw him in just to like be that guy, like, and I almost killed a hell kit with him. I was like, what the freak, yo. You said one that has no AoE, just single target damage dealer with damage. Oh yeah, so yeah, just no AoE. It would be like Hoyan, Kloros. Forgot about his ass. Kloros actually might be a little bit better for longer fights, because he ramps quite a bit. Like, every time he uses his ultimate, he basically increases his damage of it. It's a 12-hit counter proc, 12-hit proc counter for it, but he's really good for that. Especially if you're not getting direct kills. I think he's better than Hoyan in that case. I think that's where he's gonna excel versus like her, because she performs better on kills. He performs better on over procking his ult. Like, the more times he can proc it, the more damage he does. You said I wanted to build Obero, but no time left, really. Yeah, Obero's another one that, and of course the irony behind that is that's his sister. So they're two. I think she can hit pretty hard too, though, because the other thing with her, she has the bleed proc, and she's the only bleed unit in the game. So this is one unit I'm definitely gonna test out for single target, because yeah, her and like I said, his damage surprised me, and his modifier doesn't even go nearly as high as hers. So I was like, yeah, she's probably gonna hit like a truck at that point. And she actually would be a unit that I could see like just straight cleaving a unit like Rahu, or not Rahu, freaking Hellkid. If, like, especially before he gets his buff, she can just straight cleave him. Cause you said I saw your vid about top SSR. I was like Kazami, but I don't know how to use her. Kazami, so Kazami is a really good unit because of the fact that when you're building up your account, like again, what we're seeing a lot of people do is they're like trying to build a whole bunch of SRs or SSRs. She can be used, one, as an easy investment unit, right? Like, she's just easy to build, but she gives a speed up buff, but she also reduces skill cooldowns. So she's a really good unit you can slot in, like, to help you reduce those cooldowns. And then she also is a single target, so it works on like singular bosses, but she can dispel debuffs too. But the big thing with her is really the speed up buff and the AoE skill cooldown. That's like the biggest thing with her. So I was speed running stuff with her, because if you run like, say, something like Codex of Magic into like with Kazami on top of that, bruh, that shit is so ridiculous. Like, you almost have like no downtime on your skills. Like, it's really insane. Once you even get stuff maxed, she can again still help further reducing the cooldowns, which again is just kind of nice. Unless the skill says like Lily, for example, or not Lily, Doki Doki, for example, I think it is, or is it Lily? I think it's Lily. Lily has a skill, her skill 3. It can't be affected by skill cooldown, so you wouldn't pair her up with like a unit like Lily. She can't actually affect any of her abilities. So you said in your OP dislike, wait, in my opinion, is dislike still playable or dead? Damn. I mean, I couldn't really like say, because I haven't really been paying it any mind. I haven't been playing. I think like with most gaming communities, like they have like the solidified player base, which is just consistent and is there. Do I think new players are going to be able to like if you're trying to get on the game as a new player and be consistent and have fun? Possibly. I mean, if you don't care about any competitive stuff, you could still get on the game and have fun. Absolutely. But if you're trying to get on there and be competitive, you're not going to be like, you just can't. It's impossible. The game is extremely heavily reliant upon dupes, and you're going to be up against people that have been playing for 4 years almost now. So, yeah, no, I don't really think it's like the best if that's what you're aiming for, but it is playable. Yeah, I definitely think it's playable. All right, guys. He said Kraken carries me. Yeah, Kraken is OP, bro. Kraken is absolutely OP. All right, guys. So we're about to what are we about to do? We're about to get on some JJK for a second. I'm gonna show I gotta show the Twitch chat JJK. I'm gonna end the stream over here on this channel. We're gonna keep streaming though on my Twitch channel, so you guys are more than welcome to come over there. I'm actually gonna stream Weather and Waves after that though, and then what else are we doing today? I think I might play some Marvel Rivals. So yeah, that's probably what we're gonna do. But tomorrow's the last day of the beta, so I'll probably go stream tomorrow too, just for the last day. And then from there, we'll be going into whatever phase is after this CBT. I don't know. But, dude, nah, if this is the last time I see some of you guys, dude, I appreciate all you guys, man, for coming through, hanging out, chilling, talking strats. This has probably been the funnest CBT for me because, like, I mean, granted, like, there were always those, like, individuals like the homie Daniel coming through, you know, Brennan, a few other individuals that would just always have been here from every beta. But it's just nice that it's like, you know, we see more faces and there's more people interested in the game and wanting to talk strat and actually prepping and thinking about what they want to do for their official release. So it's really cool to see that. Again, though, if you guys have any additional feedback that you want to share, you're always free. Share it in my Discord. You can share it in the official Discord. I've been taking notes like throughout the streams, as far as like data and collecting all that stuff. I'm getting data for some of the other creators as well. So yeah, a lot of the stuff that you guys are, you know, mentioning, I am actually listening to those things. And I'm going to be bringing those things to the team as well. So, yeah, again, if you want to come through to the Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Zoxaskun. I'll share the Twitch to you guys real quick. Hold on. Yo, Deity, are you still here, bro? I don't know if Deity left or not already. He probably did, because he be chilling, bro. He be chilling. Yo, did you guys know Deity's like 6 feet, bro? He's a Chad, yo. I didn't know Deity was 6 feet, yo. It's so funny when you see creators and you only ever see them sitting down. It's like, nah, he gotta be short. Nah, bro, Deity like 6'2". I was like, goddamn, bro. I'm like, dude, you don't gotta be tall like that and you know, brag about it. All right, hold on. Let me drop the link in the. You said Deity, a true Deity in real life. I'm dead. Nah, Deity's a homie, man. He's mad cool. You said 6 foot squad is lit. Yo, don't do that to me, bro. I'm just like, I was literally an inch short from fucking 6 feet. Like, yo, that's so messed up, bro. That's so messed up. Like, it's not cool telling nobody you 5'11". Yo, that's mad messed up, yo. Dang. Like, I feel like at that point, just make me 5'7", yo. Like, just let me be 5'7", bro. Cause like, dude, that's crazy. You said 5'11" plus some Timberland boots. Nah, for real, yo. That's funny. Man, nah, they really cooked me. I really got cooked by Mother Nature. All right, there we go. All right, so that should have posted. I don't know if that posted to all of them. I think it did. I just go to the Twitch? It did just go to the Twitch. I'm dead. Let me see. Yo, can one of you guys share the Twitch link to the YouTube chat? It's not letting me post it over there for some weird reason. But yeah, we're about to be gaming, bro. We're about to be gaming. He said that then they sized me up and they're like, nah, fam, you 6'1". Yeah, that's hilarious. He said 5'11". Yo, that's crazy. Yo, I'm getting all these Watcher Realm commercials. Like, what the heck is happening? All right, so. Oh, you know what? That's probably why. All right, so. Yeah, if you guys just search me on Twitch, it's Zoxaskun. Y'all can come through there. We're about to continue streaming over there. But if not, man, I appreciate you guys for coming through, bro. Y'all have a good day. Stay blessed, and I'll see you guys potentially tomorrow. I'll make sure I schedule the stream if we are streaming. All right, guys. Peace. All right, so let's see.